quick, before we start, I would like to say that the Lost in Limbo Kickstarter will be going on for a few more days. We are very close to hitting the goal as of recording this. So if you enjoy the following stream, I definitely recommend checking the description. I will be linking the Kickstarter down below. You can get the game key as one of the tires, or you can even just get a bunch of goodies. There's a lot of options for you, and if you enjoy the demo in the following stream, pre-cut, whatever you want to call it, I definitely recommend checking it out. Thank you. Okay, bye. Enjoy. Hi, I'm Altair. Altair Alterilio, just simply Altair. I am the star inhabiting the abandoned space station that is floating in space because there is nobody here. I am alone in this giant spaceship. I am possessing a robotic body that was meant to help the space station function, I'm assuming. Yeah. Without further ado, we're gonna start. Um, I don't know how much I'm gonna have to read out loud because I do know there's voice acting. I just don't know to what level of voice acting. Like, I don't know if it's like select lines or if it's like full on voice acting because it's also the demo, so yeah. Oh, father sensitivity warning, y'all. I think, yeah, I was flashing imagery. I think it's okay. Oh, we get to put our names. Ooh, ooh. Altair. There you go. Him. Yes. In my dreams, I see a black tower. It has no beginning and no end, no doors and no windows, no past and no purpose. It was there before our kind took its first breath, and it will be there long after we take its last. It knows not of time or reason, it is greater than life and truer than death. I used to be afraid of it. Every time I closed my eyes, it was there, waiting, immobile, and ever present. I often wondered what it wanted from me. As infinite as it was, it lacked a voice. My questions remained unanswered night after night. Now I know I should have listened more closely. It was a clear warning, one I was determined to ignore. Even if the answer had been right before me, would I have been willing to understand? Would I have been able to turn my back on what was dearest to me? Yes, I do wonder. Why am I telling you this now? Maybe, even after everything, I still harbor love for you in my heart. You think you outsmarted me, don't you? What will come next is inevitable. You are only delaying what was written in the foundations of the universe long, long ago. This was bound to happen. You are meant to fail, and I am meant to succeed. So why do you insist on continuing this charade? Are you truly this desperate? Or have you finally gone mad? I see. You think of yourself as special, don't you? The chosen one, the savior, the hero. It must hurt, knowing you are none of those things. It must make you lie awake at night, knowing someone else now has what you once was yours. What is crueler than having no place to go, but having no one to be? And yet, you say nothing. Even now, as you stand at the edge of the abyss, you refuse me to so much as mumble a word. You could beg for forgiveness, for help, but you won't. Time is not on your side, betrayer. You will soon have to face me. I will erode the hope of those who denied me. I will feed the fear of the disloyal and the broken, and when they look to the sky begging for salvation, they will hope to see me. And my wanderer, my dear wanderer, will be the key to a new and glorious birth. Remember, betrayer, the Midnight Tower is not my prison. It is my fortress. Fun. Ooh, fun. Oh, we wake up. Huh? I fell asleep. I wiped the drool off my chin with the back of my hand. The lobby of the occult and esoteric shop is as empty as it was when we got here. The old clock marks more than an hour since Evie disappeared behind that door to get a tarot reading. No one has come in or out since. The cheap, whimsical playlist coming out of the speakers of the waiting room is the only company I have. Chances are no one even knows I'm still waiting here, and yet the first sensation that takes over me when the haze of sleep dissipates is that of someone watching me. It's been happening again recently. That buzzing in my nape, the disgusting tickle of 1,000 eyes digging in the back of my head, following me everywhere. Maybe you should go see a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever the name is. 1 second, my audio sync for my... Why is my sensitivity for here so high? What the hell? Okay, there we go. Ugh. The blasted tower again. The dream is getting longer with each passing day. More detailed, more permanent. Now it even haunts my sporadic naps. If I close my eyes, what is crueler than having no place to go, but having no one to be? For as long as I can remember, this dream has been a part of my life, an infinite tower decomposing in the bleeding night sky. It's a cryptic nightmare typical of the imaginative mind of a kid, something you let go of when you got older, but I didn't. It lingered until I stepped out of Feyburn to live my own life. Then it disappeared without a trace, but since I moved back 2 weeks ago, it's been visiting most nights again, as if it had been waiting for me to return. I can't say I'm surprised it's back though. My mind has never been in a worse place than it is now. Jobless, broke, living back with my mom and grandmother in the old family house, waiting for my best friend to get tired of asking questions about her future to a stranger that allegedly has supernatural powers, and dealing with ominous dreams wrought by feelings of anxiety and dread. One therapist I saw had an interesting hypothesis. Having my grandmother constantly claiming the town is cursed may have had some effects on my brain as a kid. The scary tower was the result of it. Okay, MC went to see a therapist. We love to see it. We love to be caring about our mental health. Based on Grandma's superstitious thinking, the longer I stay here, the more evil rubs on me. That means I'm cursed by now, following that logic. And everyone else who lives here, you'd think they would notice if they were. Maybe if I believed in those kinds of things, it would bring some kind of relief. I could try to cure myself if that's possible. Also, I'm noticing little details about the art. Um, the creators of this game are Spanish, so I'm like taking note of some of the details in the artwork as like, yeah, these are things you would actually see in certain regions of Spain. So I find that really cool. Like there's definitely some inspiration taken, and I like to see that. Maybe if I believed in those kinds of things, it would bring some kind of relief. I could try to cure myself if that's possible. Uncurse. Oops. Cleanse? Purify? I'm not sure what the word would be. A text from Evie, who should be not be texting while she's getting her fortune read. Attached to the text is a poorly taken photo of what seems to be a bunch of rocks thrown on top of a round table. SFL, save for later. I don't think you're supposed to sneak a photo off. Anyways. The meme. Okay. Yeah, nothing has changed. My lifelong best friend is still obsessed with the occult and is ecstatic to bring me along for the ride now that I'm back. My grandmother, who is close to 100 years but has the spirit of a 25-year-old, keeps insisting the town is cursed and wants me gone again, the sooner the better. My mother is on the verge of having a fistfight with that very same grandmother if she dares to build another one of her sons to protect us from evil spirits. The only the only sliver of normalcy I have in my life right now is my daily job hunting. Besides that, I've got nothing. At the end of the day, there's nothing in my mind but the gnawing fear of having made a mistake so far back in time it's too late to fix it. Huh. A business card slips off its neat stack on top of the table in front of me. A bunch of flashy flyers lay next to them. Feyborn is a dual little place, but it offers a stream of surprisingly affluent mystics, seers, and so on. This Master Lysander has been the talk of the town for a while. It looks like he's trying to make a brand for himself with his expensive costumes and flamboyant aesthetics, straight out of the fantasy book for teenagers. What was that one book that was like stupidly popular in Spain? Memoria Seidun. It's like a fantasy, like it's from Memoria Seidun. Lo sacaron de ahí de Memoria Seidun, se leyó el libro de Memoria Seidun y decidió que iba a hacerse un esotérico y hacerse todos los disfraces basados en Memoria Seidun. I put the business card back into place and pick up one of the flyers. Glitter falls from its pages and onto my lap when I open the ticket, the thick, glossy, fold-out paper. Damn, my 14-year-old self would have loved this. Sorry, I know it's not intentional, I can't help comparing the two because it's like Memoria Seidun was like the shit back then. When I was like 14, I was like the shit. I read the second volume in a single day. Like, I pulled it out of the library at the morning, I read it, and I came back, and the librarian was like, you can't return a book on the same day you take it out. You have to bring it back tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay, but I already read it. And she's like, I don't care. Bring it back tomorrow. I was like, okay. Huh. A wandering mage seeking knowledge and offering enlightenment. The solution to break the curse that falls on the city lies nowhere else but in my powerful mind. No way. This man also thinks the town is haunted? That makes two people in all of Feyburn, which isn't much, but it's weird enough. If I had 2 nickels for every time someone said the town was cursed, I have 2 nickels, which isn't much. But it's weird it happened twice. Uh-huh. Or maybe I replace if it says it's haunted. Convenient, am I right, Master Lysander? You can mean anyway. Hello! I press the flyer against my chest. The door has opened with a rumbling thud, and a shadowy figure stands at the other side of the room.
The reading can begin now.
For a moment, I don't know if they're talking to me or if another customer has come in during my lapse of attention. It only takes a brief inspection to check there's no one else around, though. It's just us. This way. They gesture with their arm, holding the door wide open in clear invitation. I mean, it's a free reading! And as someone who does tarot cards, we're gonna go get the reading. Oh well, it's either getting a tarot reading or wallowing in my misery while I wait for Evie to finish up. And that could take, what, 3 hours? I wouldn't be surprised if Master Lysander geeks her out. Can I, read properly? Can my, voice not, start dying on me already? We're, 15 minutes in. Before I can open my mouth, however, I remember something crucial. Sorry, I didn't book a session. My friend is already in there with your colleague, so...
On the house. Your soul looks like it craves some advice.
I mean, if it were free? Ah. I managed not to make any weird faces. As much as this is not my saying, I'm not about to laugh at it either. Out loud, at least. My soul is kind of fine. You don't need to bother. Is it now?
Mind you, my colleague won't appreciate you digging a hole in our floor without good reason.
Their eyes are pointedly aiming at my leg, my rapidly bouncing leg. I stop immediately, heat crawling up my face. Allow me to insist. Alright. Maybe I can get another funny prediction to add to the pile. Would be way more entertaining than sitting here staring at the ceiling for God knows how long. I stand up from my seat and their smile broadens. As I follow them, I give a last glance to the door Evie disappeared behind. I'm sure I'll be done before she is anyway. Oh, this is nice. This is a nice play. Eh. What does that say? What does that say? Hold on. Hi, welcome. You always just show up whenever there's some hot person appearing on this on the screen, don't you? Inside the room, the psychic stands in front of a bookshelf, their fingers hovering over the spines of the many books neatly tucked inside. It's a small place that barely has space to move around. The air is heavy, charged with different smells mixing together in a distinct perfume. Please, close the door and take a seat. I reluctantly look back at the waiting room. There's an odd pressure in my chest I can't get rid of. No, I've never been intimidated by places like this. I'm not about to start now. It ain't my fucking fault everyone draws fine-ass people, okay? It's not my fault also half of the visual novels I read are fucking romance visual novels. Well, no, that's not true. The Centra wasn't. Yeah, the Centra wasn't. Still peak. I'm still so obsessed with the Centra. I would genuinely replay it again in a few months when I've forgotten everything. I think I'm gonna do that actually, now that I mention that. Anyways, focusing on the current game. I push the door until it's sealed, sending a flurry of some kind of sparkling powder from the floor. Thank you. As I take my seat, the seer starts rummaging around. When they finally sit in front of me, they place a small notebook near the edge of the table. It's shabby, to say the least. The faded cover still has some visible white lines, but I can't make any sense of the drawings they used to form.
I have been waiting for you.
Mr. Altair Deliria, don't fucking full name me, bro. My heart skips a beat. How do you... They smile slowly.
The one between told me about you. They knew you would come to me today.
Does bro mind not doing that? The one between. That's a new one. A mortar and pestle joined the book on the table, as well as a slim wooden box and an ink bottle with a brush seated on top. No need to be so surprised. You, more than anyone else, should be familiar with the ways of the occult. I don't like that look. Why are you giving me that look? I don't like that look. My face drops a bit. I'll tear debuff every time he has to say a fucking word that starts with a B. Jesus Christ. My face drops a bit, but I'm quick to cover it up. By the way their grin widens, I can tell I've failed. There's no way they know about me or my family. They're surely only reciting a speech they use to impress every client that steps into this room. Discomfort worms its way into my chest, but inside it, there's the slightest spark of curiosity. Share your thoughts with me. My thoughts? The first thing crossing your mind. The key to getting acquaintance with one's psyche lies in spontaneity. Spontaneity. Whatever the fuck you say that word. Jesus Christ.
Your mind, your inner self, knows more about what haunts you than you do yourself.
Wait, before we start, I have to warn you, I don't believe in this kind of thing. I don't mean to disrespect your work in the slightest, but you may be wasting your time with me. You don't really believe that, do you, Mr. Delirio? There's a deliberately crafted balance inside you. You do not believe, but I can see you are quite sensitive to the ways the common folk consider unorthodox. There's a pointed pause as they tilt their head. Ah, yes, that makes sense. Your family's influence, yes. My mouth opens to ask, but I stop myself. They know what I'm about to say, and I know that what they would answer. The one between told me. You must know, then, how the minds of a chosen few are prone to connecting with unusual places and forces. The air becomes stiff and dense around me, and the shadows behind their figures seem to elongate until I can make out the shape of the tower. You see, it is easier to enlighten the unbelieving than it is to take devotion away from the faithful. I assume you're planning to enlighten me then? You are an interesting individual, Mr. Delirio. We both have our reasons to walk the paths we choose. That we do. Now, as much as I would be ecstatic to discuss this further with you, shall you indulge me? I am very interested in what that mind of yours is hiding. The first thing crosses my mind, right now there's a bunch of things I could think about. How's the town cursed exactly? So, your boss thinks Feyborn is cursed. My boss? Master Lysander?
Hmm.
Uh, you disagree? Their head bobs slightly in silent pondering.
Hmm.
Where my brother sees a curse, I see a blessing, an opportunity. This town lies in a place whose reflection harvests deep suffering. Whose? They nod. The scar in Limbo's chest oozes a hatred that seeps into our world, corrupting it. This town rests at its peak, where it is the most damaged. Or so the ancient tomes say. I do think we could help it heal, even if we are trapped in our own reality, for the benefit of both realms. That we are in such an important location must mean we were chosen to do something. But yes, you could say it is a curse. I can't see my own face, but judging by their low chuckle, I know surprise doesn't begin to describe it. Why do you ask? I, curiosity? I know I'm not the best liar around, but they didn't have to laugh like that. I shall refrain from refuting you. Curiosity, then. As they open their notebook to the last page to produce a red ribbon, I'm left staring vacantly at some random point in the room. Grandma has never been so thorough with her arguments about the town being haunted or cursed. She merely limits herself to squawking day and night about the danger I'm in by saying Feyburn. There's never been any mention of ancient tomes or a scar-oozing hatred or a boogeyman with a cheesy name like the one between. This person has really put some thought into this, whatever this is. And honestly, hearing someone talking about that stuff so seriously is enough to make you squirm, superstitious or not. It gives me a bad feeling, to say the least. Under my vigilant stare, they tie on one end of the ribbon around their wrist. They extend their hand to me next, leaving it on top of the table.
Hmm.
Your hand, please. I hesitate. Something doesn't sit right with me. It hasn't for a while, but why does every word they say sound so familiar? I can't say I believe any of their words, but the shadow of doubt is starting to settle in my chest. Worst case scenario, Evie has been scammed and these people are weirdos. But what if this really gives me some answers? You seem to be particularly interested in me.
Hmm.
I cannot deny that. What do you win with this? If I stood up and left now, what would you lose? My patron would be disappointed. I don't expect to recruit you or convert you. I merely wish to give you insight, to give you the choice you've never been granted. Let's make a deal then. If I go through with this, you'll let me ask you as many questions as I want, and you'll answer them. The shoulders relax with a timid exhale.
I give you my word that after this whole ordeal is over, you will have the answers you seek.
Okay. Good. Not that their word means anything, but I'll take it. For now. I place my hand on theirs, and to my utter disbelief, they flip it over. They don't seem interested in the lines of my palm. Instead, they tie the other end of the ribbon around. Instead, they tie the other end of the ribbon around my wrist with delicacy, and then dip the brush in the ink. As I do, I sneak my other hand into my pocket where my phone is. If something happens, I just have to press the power button 5 times. Then it's 10 seconds of countdown until emergency services are notified. I sound crazy. Nothing's going to happen. The seer stops before the tip of the brush can touch my skin, their eyes finding mine. I give them permission with a curt nod. It's oddly fascinating. I thought I had seen everything: oil, water, riddles, ashes, needles, but this is new. I close my eyes, focusing on the almost soothing sensation of the brush caressing me.
Yes, relax. Let your mind wander far, far away to places you never believed you could go.
Their voice is so captivating, it's impossible not to melt on my seat, concentrating on the feeling of the ink coating my skin. My hand is left on top of the table as they draw theirs away, the wood pressing under my fingers throbs. On the black empty canvas that covers my eyes, I see something slithering up high in the sky. See it. Connect with it. The tower. It materializes before me, so alive I could reach out and touch it. There's a lonely path carved in the mountains, disappearing behind a thick curtain of fog. What do you want from me? What are you? I hear a metallic shing, raising goosebumps on my limbs. I become aware of the silence, of the rumbling of something beneath my feet. There's that strange tickle on the back of my neck again, slowly taking the shape of a pair of eyes. Ah! Something pins my hand to the table. My hand! The pain doesn't strike right away. Fear does. What? Wait, what? The blade of a knife has stabbed through my palm, digging deep into the wood. Blood seeps through the grooves and stains them red. I can't breathe. My sweaty thumb slips away from my phone. I don't know how many times I manage to press a button before my body goes numb. I slump over the table, hands slither along my limbs, sharp nails digging into my skin, pressing me down against the freezing wood.
Please don't be scared.
Bro, you're not fucking helping your case. Where's that? I don't blink when I raise my eyes to the seer, still sitting calmly in front of me. They look at me with grotesque adoration, placing their hands on top of mine. They're bleeding too, and our blood mixes in an indistinguishable crimson stream.
We all have to play our part in this.
See, this is why I don't fucking go to weird places. Their face draws close to mine, but I can't recoil. I can't find this agony turning my limbs to stone.
I
have
played mine, and now it's time for you to play yours.
1 second. My cat is in the hallway screaming her little lungs out. 1 second. Oh, so now they're freaky? Now they're freaky? Okay. I have played mine, and now it's time for you to play yours. They raise their fingers to my hair, brushing it off my face. Don't touch me. Fight. Fight. Fight, Wanderer. Fight. If you want to live, fight. Fight. Fight, okay? Ah! Strength that should not be within me rushes through my veins, inhuman and raw. My free hand curls around the handle of the knife at a dizzying speed. I yank the blade out from my hand, drawing an arc through the air with my bubbling blood. The knife edge glides across the seer's face. Their flesh resists the blade, skin and muscle pushing back against my grip to no use. Everything breaks. Like red ribbons carried by the wind, the seer's face explodes in thin strips of meat and blood. Bitch, what the fuck? Bitch, what the fuck?
No! No! This can't be happening! This was not the deal!
The last thing I see before white pierces my eyes is the seer's face, twisting beyond recognition as the flesh around their mouths tears with a terrifying sound. Bitch, what the fuck? A violent gust of wind pushes me back against the chair. The furniture is lifted into the air, flying around like sheets of paper, and I cling to the knife for dear life. The chair gives in. Gravity pulls me down at a speed that flips my stomach over. It burns. Flames lick my skin, burning past my clothes and flesh until they reach bone. I try to open my eyes, only to screw them shut again with a wail, afraid they'll turn into ashes like the rest of me. Keep up a reaction being the... No, for real? I can't hear anything but a ringing in my brain. I don't know if my voice is reaching anyone as I scream for help. I crash into something. My bones break one after the other, like the keys of a piano being violently played. My charred skin comes apart until my raw flesh is in the open, and the raging gale carrying me transforms into a million needles, pricking every spot they can reach. Then there's just silence. Around me and inside me, the sensation of my bones shattering into splinters feels like soft droplets of rain caressing my body. So this must be it. This must be what dying feels like. Within the agonizing plague of thoughts tearing my brain apart, there's a clear revelation that leaves no emotion behind. I'm going to die. Awaken, my wanderer. I see the night sky, pearlescent tears glint in the vast darkness of the world, above and below as far as the eye can see. The soft hands of the void brush my hair away from my face and brace the soles of my feet. I'm standing, or so I think. I can see my bones peeking through the sliced and scorched meat my body once was, and I feel nothing. You are here, but you are not. There is no sense of direction. Left and right merge with up and down, and the only points of reference I have are my useless limbs. You are not complete. Something warm touches my hand. When I look down, there's nothing but the pitiful sight of the thin bones that remain attached to my arm. It's not my body that's being touched, it's me. This is most disheartening. I had hoped you would. Yes, I had hoped. That is all I could do. Do not fear, my dear wanderer. I will take care of you. All of them have failed me. All of them. But you won't. You won't fail me. Gentle fingers caress my cheeks, soothing to my aching skin. The words tickle my brain, begging to be released. I won't fail you. Say it. Manifest it. Feel it in the depths of your soul. I can't move my cursor. I can't move my cursor. I know. You are my dear, dear wanderer after all. Our last beacon of hope, the one that carries my will. A kiss falls on my forehead. The world lays me down ever so gently, and in its navel, brimming with life, I am left to rest. I'm cradled in vaporous waves, laughing at a shore that is yet to heal from the storm. But one day it will heal, one day it will heal, and it will be glorious. This will be my parting gift to you. Shooting stars descend from above, sinking into the empty husk that I am. Inside me they stretch and twist, sewing me back together stitch by stitch. Then there is light. My eyelids, still sticky over my unfinished and hollow eyes, part to reveal a shining silhouette. It's my cat at the door screaming again. The world groans with animosity, was hatred. The sky turns red for the briefest of instants before it settles back with a deeper blue. Hold on, let me see what she wants. 1 second. She has decided that today is the stream. She's gonna interrupt me. She doesn't usually interrupt me, but today, yes, she's gonna interrupt me. 1 second. My cat wants me to leave my room. I cannot do that. I have told her I cannot do that, and she just stared at me with her big old eyes, being like, well, why not? Like, because I'm busy. And she just looked at me like, well, you shouldn't be. And that's how I am doing with my cats. My other cat is in my room, sleeping so comfortably, just living her best life. Oh no, she's awake. And they're fighting at the door. Okay. BRB again. Jesus Christ, you too. Okay. Now they're both out of my room. And I don't know what they're gonna do, but they love each other very much. They're also just gremlins. I might need to get more water. Whatever, we'll do that when we get there. The world groans with animosity, with hatred. The sky turns red for the briefest of instants before it settles back into a deeper blue. You never give up, do you? Breaking into my sacred chest, taking my wanderer away from me. Your cruelty knows no limits. A gasp tears through my body as life is breathed into me once more. The pain is numbing and suffocating, but there is no chest for me to clutch. Our time together comes to an end. I will see you soon, my dear wanderer. I will see you soon. Uh, a dream? It all was fuck. The red and black dots burned into my corneas, mixed with the tears glazing over my eyes, making it difficult to focus on what's in front of me. I catch the faint chant of crickets in the distance. My skin shivers as I look at the clock sky. It's freezing. I prop myself up on my elbows, coughing and spitting the patches of grass from my mouth. Suddenly, every sensation crashes into me at once. Everything. It burns. I ball my hands into fists only to be rewarded with a wave of sharp, white-hot pain. I try to gulp down every breath, but the air gets caught between my wheezing ribs. Under my skin, something's moving. Ah! I clawed my arms at my throat, trying to tear off the lumps that my nails run into. The pain. I can't. I collapse on my side. Blades of grass scratch my sizzling skin. A single drop of rain falls on my forehead. It's fine, Altair. You'll be fine. Clenching my jaw tight, I catch one breath after the other. I don't know how long I wait before the agony tearing me apart finally ebbs away. The first coherent sensation that takes over me is the smell of wet grass and dirt. I sit up. The sudden motion turns my stomach upside down, but I force myself to my feet. I look down, gasping at the sight of blood dripping down my forearm. There's a swollen, gaping cut in the middle of my palm. What the hell just happened? I take in my surroundings. Trees stand as far as the eye can see. The hill I seem to be on top of slinks down and back up, spreading into endless mountains. My head. The memories spring forth as if from an open faucet. That seer clearly knew about me. I remember talking with them. I remember the pain in my hand and that adrenaline surging through my veins, but then nothing. I can't recall a single thing after that. Did they drug me? Was I hallucinating? My phone. I have to check my phone. Thankfully, it's still in my pocket in one piece. There's no signal at all, no internet connection either, but I dial Evie's number anyway. We're in the middle of fucking Spanish wilderness. There's nothing but dead zones in the middle of fucking nowhere, Spain, bro. You should know this. Alright, okay. I'll call the emergency number. Fuck, come on. There should be a networks tower somewhere. Why can't I even reach the fucking emergency line? What if they attack TV2? Was the appointment a trap? I have to do something. I can't just wait here. Taking a deep breath, I put the hem of my shirt between my teeth and rip off a piece of fabric. I managed to tightly wrap the cloth around my hand. It doesn't take long for it to turn red, but I can only hope it does some good until I find help. I mean, it'll stop the bleeding a little bit, and with some luck, you'll make it less likely to get an infection. But not for the long run. Get proper bandages. Don't use your shirt like that. Okay, Altair, good job. The moon peeks over the clouds, its pale light bouncing off of something buried in the mud. There, covered in blood, lies a knife. I cut them back, didn't I? I just cut that person's face. I've never held a knife in my hands with the purpose of hurting someone or defending myself. As I grab it now, I don't feel the strength from before, but an unsettling pressure in my chest. It may come in handy. They might come back to finish the job. Which is terrifying to think about. Let's get a move on. Balancing the knife between my fingers, I fit my phone on my palm, eyes trained on the empty signal box as I start to march forward. A crow! There has to be a network tower somewhere, or a road I can get to. There's some kind of band tied around the trees, which means people must be living nearby. This could be a pilgrimage route, or a camping zone. Maybe these rocks are some kind of landmark? The flapping of wings breaks the silence. A group of crows sits on a branch right above my head, tilting their beaks at me. I speed up, moving my phone around to catch even a small bar of signal. The crows follow me, bouncing from tree to tree, trying to guess where I might be going. If only I knew to begin with. Fuck, I'm not close to Flayborn at all, am I? Huh? A reddish light flickers in the forest below, standing out amongst the dark green of the landscape. It's a fire. There's someone down there. I'm saved! I raise my eyes to the sky as relief washes over me. The thick clouds disperse to unveil the moon, as if she wanted to give me her blessing. I have never seen the moon look so big. It shines so brightly and illuminates the whole forest like a... That is... But I... No, wait a second. Whatever they did to me, whatever's going on, it's just in my head. Nothing else. No, something's wrong here. My heart starts pounding loudly in my ears. The tower is there, just like in my dreams, standing infinitely tall right before my eyes. It exists. The tower is real. Magnificent, isn't it? Ow! A sharp flash of pain drills the inside of my skull. The lights of the moon becomes unbearable and I turn away, clutching my forehead. What the hell did they do to me? Frigid sweat rolls down my spine. There's a suffocating pain in my chest. I need to find help soon. I glance back at the fire, trying not to let the massive tower on the horizon drag my attention away. There's definitely someone down there, but I don't know if my body will hold out long enough. Walk to the fire. No, I'm almost there. I can't give up now. I've gotten this far, just a bit more, just enough to reach that fire. It could be a shelter, some teenagers partying in secret, a family having a camping night. All of those sound better than turning away from the tower and taking my chances in the dark. Whatever that thing is, whatever is happening, it has a logical explanation. With that thought in mind, I keep walking. The murmur of the wind is my single companion, at least the strange wooden lamps framing the path of an inadequate source of light. What was that? I look around, wary of any movement or sound, but after a couple seconds of holding my breath, nothing happens. There's a strange chill in the air, and now that I pay attention, there's not a sound to be heard. That's not a good sign. You're in the forest. Why is it silent? I freeze. A long shadow stretches up amongst the jagged trunks, disappearing behind the trees. There's a figure standing at its end, remaining completely still. I can't see their face, but they are completely clad in black, their clothes tied against their skin. Their head begins to swivel from left to right, searching for something. Searching for someone. They found me. But I didn't hear anyone following me. No, no, they would have jumped me by now if they had noticed me, right? Whispers come from where the stranger lingers. A sharp ray of moonlight pierces through the trees, basing them in moonlight. Hey, buddy! What? What the hell is that? I grip the handle of the knife with all my strength, taking a step back. The hairs on my arms stand on end as I take in the viscous, putrid flesh of the creature before me. Its skin sizzles where the light brushes its arms, long and knotted together like rotting chunks of meat. One sprouts after the other from a pool of mangled bodies, keeping it standing. I'll tear. I slam my hand over my mouth to stifle a whimper. A familiar metallic stench reaches my nostrils and I press my lips together in a poor attempt to keep the blood of my hand from seeping into my mouth. I'll tear. A retch turns my stomach upside down. Hold on, is this the seer? Y'all, do you think this is the seer? Hey, buddy! This is a nightmare. This can only be a nightmare. The creature doesn't move. Its elongated head keeps pivoting from one side to the other like a watchtower. Run. Every fiber of my being is set on fire. So, like, what? Is something you need to eat? Something you want to share with class? Every fiber of my being is set on fire. Also, maybe I should have clicked hide, but I did. I saw that bar filling up with time, and it was stirring, and I was like, "What? What the hell is that?" No, 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 no. There, find the campfire. The campfire. Someone help me! I don't realize I'm running until the bushes and branches start scratching my skin as I push myself through them. Every step echoes in my head, loud, painful. I need to get out of here. I'll take. The mud becomes heavy and sticky under my feet, but I keep going. The ripples of smoke come closer, and so does the tower. Keep going, keep going. My leg sinks into the soil all the way up to my hip. I try to yank it loose, bending over and pulling with all my strength, but it doesn't budge. No, 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 please! Come on! A hand sprouts out of the fleshy ground. It coils around my free ankle, lumpy fingers creeping on my skin until I reach my calf. Uh, no! Another takes hold of my elbow, pulling me down. My cheeks presses against the buttered mud. The joints of my arms and legs stretch to a painful limit that has me crying out. Something heavy falls on my back. The last burst of air I take is plagued by a rodent and sick liquid that pulls in the back of my throat. Are we gonna die already? Y'all, we just started. I didn't save! I'll tear. I'll tear. I'm sinking. I'm being dragged down. Down. And then, nothing. This was not supposed to happen. Why did you do that? Tell me. You are smarter than that, stronger than that, aren't you? I refuse to believe I was wrong about you. You are not done. We are not done, my wanderer. You shall rise again, but beware, I will not be there to snatch you from the great void's hands forever. Awaken, my wanderer, and this time do it for good. Huh? What was I doing? The forest around me slowly comes back to life. There's a tingle on my fingertips and a foul taste in my mouth. What? Great. Eaten there rhetorically and literally, it seems. The tower is still there, waving its invisible hands at me. The feeling of urgency beating somewhere inside me creeps up the forefront of my senses. Okay, I know. Yeah, I was running away from whatever the hell this is. Let's... What the fuck is my cat doing? Go back downhill this time. You know what? I'll just go back. I can't. If I look at it, then the roaring echo of thunder marks the first steps I take back downhill. I grip the knife harder, walking as quickly as I can. What was a challenging climb before now turns into a maddening descent that numbs my senses. Damn it! My feet get tangled, catapulting my body forward. I tilt my shoulder to brace my fall, and I skid through the mud until my head bumps the giant root of a tree. I'm sure there's some positive figures later on. We're just currently up shit creek without a paddle. Well, we'll get a paddle soon, I'm sure. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Believe. Oops. Oopsie. I accidentally hit my keyboard. Funny as fuck though if I had just ended the stream right there. It's like, oh, it's fine, ends the stream. Before I know it, I'm mustering all the strength left in me to stand back up. There must be a road at the bottom of the hill, right? Maybe I'll be lucky and find one before I have to go all the way down. Or maybe I'll find a country house, an old couple living here in the middle of nowhere. Just keep going, Altair. Keep going, and then I'm sure I stop. A few feet away from me, someone stands completely still, almost merging with the trees looming above our heads. The fog slithers around their feet, licking the edges of a pair of long legs. I'm safe. I'm safe. No, 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 no. We don't trust like that. We don't trust like that. Heart bolting in my chest, I resume my running, this time with purpose. Hey, over here! Please, can you help? What'd I fucking say? What did I fucking say? And this bitch didn't listen to me. Oh my god. Me. The air freezes, becoming trapped in time. What stands in front of me is made of the fabric of nightmares, of the threads holding every scrap of madness in this world together. Its head swivels all the way back to face me, poisoned flesh squelching with the twist of its misshapen neck. It holds itself like a scared little kid, and a moaning gurgle emerges from a mouth brimming with teeth. I'll tear. What? I'll tear. Its body shudders, its bunny legs sewn together in the middle cause it to trip. Then, when it tries to take a step towards me, can I stop stuttering over my words? Jesus Christ. No, those are not legs. I watch as it struggles to get back up, standing tall on a pile of disfigured bodies. Mud covers its disgustingly tender skin, and it wails my name once more. The cold clings to the tips of my fingers, to the back of my head, biting my skin. I'll tear! It pounces on me in the blink of an eye, jaws wide open. Shit, duck. I throw myself to the ground with all my strength. A bone-chilling wail brushes past my ears. Its body hits the mud, missing my head by an inch. I run. I don't care about the painful burn in my legs as I race downhill without looking back. Around me, every inch of the forest melts into a senseless blur. A harrowing screech pierces the night. It's following me. It's following me. Don't look back. Don't look back. Just keep running. Keep running. Ow! I crash into something with enough force to knock the air out of my lungs. The sky spins as I'm pushed back, then it abruptly stops. The moon stills high in the clouds. A hand closes around my wrist and pulls me upright before I have a chance to hit the ground.
Oh, gotcha.
See? We found a friendly face. Please be friendly. Button up, sweetheart. You'll catch a cold. Strong arm sneaks around my waist, pulling me against the solid body. My hands move up to brace myself against it, and when I tilt my head back, still disoriented, there's a man looking down at me with a smile. Listen, I don't trust like that either. But between freaky creature that has already killed me once and dude that has yet to kill me, I will take the dude that has yet to kill me. The fucking bar is in hell.
You sure are a quick one, ain't you? Whew, took me a while to catch up.
Why did you say that? I open my mouth to say something, but only a whine makes it out. Everyone say thank you to my main moderator for going. Your washboard apps and copper tan pectorals will not fool me. Oh my god. This is a game where we must experience fear. Stop it. The thing is coming. I cling to the man, trying to warm him with my eyes.
Oh.
He seems confused for a moment, but then his lips pull back into an easy smirk, and he pats my head with a familiarity that feels entirely too strange to me. It's comforting, somehow. I didn't realize how scared I really was until now.
Oh, poor bunny. Don't worry your pretty little head about it.
No. I don't even know your name. We're not starting this before I even know your name. Back up, buddy. Back off. Before I dare to say anything else, a scream erupts from the shadows. My muscles tense and I unconsciously shift closer to the man, feeling his laugh rumbling through my bones. You're safe with me. It's just a little guy, bro. That is not a little guy. That is a big guy. His arm curls around my shoulders, but I quickly push him away enough to look at his face. What? Are you crazy? Dashing through the trees, the monster hurls towards us, its mouth parts open to let out another shriek, and I instinctively scream in reply, squeezing my eyes shut. A gust of wind almost throws me off balance, but the man's arm tightens around me, protectively keeping me steady. I shield my face against his shoulder and hold on tight as the storm whips my skin. It's alright. Nothing to be scared of. I slowly open my eyes again. He's smiling at me, his hand moving up to tussle my hair. See? A bit ugly, but nothing you can't handle. I turn around, heart beating in the back of my throat. Ah! I jump back with a loud gasp, stumbling against the man's chest. They ain't that dangerous when alone. A pack, though, that's something else. The creature remains immobile, floating in midair. Its many arms are stretched towards us, mouth open in a pained wail as it helplessly tries to shake off whatever is keeping it frozen in time. It uses something, thick and oily, that detaches from its body and stains the grass underneath. It slowly disintegrates and quickly regenerates. The sight teases a spot in the darkest corner of my mind.
Uh-huh.
Let's get rid of this one, I look at him. There's not a sliver of fear on his face. The wind returns in force and I grunt, protecting my face with my arm. The beast chokes on a pained scream. The birds in the trees nearby fly away at the spine-chilling sound. I peek through my hands, watching as the monster crashes against a tree, and another and another and another. The deafening noise of exploding wood muffles the creature's voice as the fog and distance swallow it. Silence falls over the entire forest. I lower my arms, taking in the sight of the scene before me. The trees in the line of fire are barely standing, teetering on what little remains of their trunks. Problem solved. See? Wasn't that scary, was it? A grin pushes at his cheekbones, showing all his teeth. His incisors are slightly pointy, and only now do I realize how much he towers over me. He's huge, massive even, as well as I crane my neck back to look directly at his single beaming eye. Thanks?
Huh.
No big deal. Happy I got here in time. I smile weakly out of nothing but politeness. I have too many questions, so many I can't count them all, and yet only two slips from my lips. Where are we? Are you from around here? His smile crumbles. He crosses his arms over his chest, a subtle furrow on his brow.
This is, the woods beyond, which is bad. We shouldn't be here.
You don't say. Uh-huh. Did you just make that up? No, no, of course not. He rubs the side of his neck, eyes surveying the furs around us, searching for something. Maybe he's okay, maybe he's just silly. Maybe he's just silly, it's okay. It's okay, we were just tense because we were getting fucking murdered by a giant monster and then we got brought back to life and then we still were getting chased by the giant fucking monster. He's just silly, it's fine. I'm sure he's fine. Well, is this awkward? I barely overhear him as he mumbles to himself, but I have to agree wholeheartedly. Are you lost too? Is that it? He makes a weird face, as if the thought of him getting lost were something alien to even suggest. Not at all. This is just hard to explain. I'm not an expert or anything. I set my limbs into a thin line. The adrenaline is starting to dissipate, leaving me lightheaded and exhausted. The closest city, a landmark, a reference point, any information would be useful except for a made-up name like the Woods Beyond. I'm sure he could be a bit more helpful if he wanted to. His reticence is strange, suspicious. I take a step back and away from him, marking some pointed distance between us. Even if he sort of saved my life just now, that doesn't mean he... Wait, he saved my life. He wasn't afraid of the thing. Wait, what the hell was that? What was what? That thing, the thing that attacked us.
Huh.
Don't think too much about it, alright? What? What is that supposed to mean? What the hell's going on? What was this headache? Oh, we're passing out. I squeeze my eyes shut, trying to clear my head to my mind, whatever. Same word. There's a loud mumble in the back of my head, trying to push itself forward. Invisible claws close around my skull, sending pain shooting through my bones as they tighten their clutch.
Hey!
Hey, you alright? Do I look alright, buddy? My heart hammers against my chest and my stomach churns with little fluid still in it, forcing me to slap a hand over my mouth. I cough hard and something sticky coats my lips. There's a lump of a viscous and purulent substance sitting on my palm, mingling with my blood. The knife would be in my palm, now red and black, is dirty with mud and specks of grass. Damn it. An acidic tingle runs down my arm, pulling at the wound. My teeth grind together to stop a heat from leaving my throat. Can you hear me? What's going on? Do I look like I know what's going on, buddy? I'm dying. His hand is hot on my back. His voice rings loud in my ears, piercing my brain and joining the whispers already torturing it.
No.
Hey, look at me. What can I do? He can help. I'm sure it's fine. I can only whimper back. My knees give way until I have to crouch down. His calmness reaches out to me like a friendly hand. He sits on his hunches in front of me, bouncing on the balls of his feet for a moment. I raise my eyes to meet his own, giving him my silent approval. You're going to be fine. Focus on my voice, will you? I let the rough but gentle drawl of my voice wrap around me, closing my eyes as a shuddering breath escapes me. I'm gonna take your hand now. Sound good? I nod, stretching out my arm, his fingers along, his palms wide and slightly calloused. He covers my good hand completely, giving it a firm squeeze. I breathe out shakily. He's so warm. You're gonna be fine. I'll get you out of here. For now, we're gonna breathe together. Follow my lead. I used to do that with Evie back in high school. I know this. I can do this. Yes. My voice sounds pathetic, weak, but he smiles. Let's go. He breathes in, then out. I have the sudden urge to chuckle at the rough sound he makes. I steady myself and follow him, gripping his hand back. Hard, whatever. I focus on my body, on my throbbing pulse. On the ground I'm sitting on my heart beating strongly where our hands meet. I run away from the insistent murmur grazing the nape of my neck, from the tendrils digging into my brain. I let the air fill my lungs completely until my chest is tight, and then release it when he does. That's it. Deep breaths, all the way to your Kelly belly. To my what? I choke on a bark of laughter, opening my eyes to look at him. He gently rubs the back of my hand with his thumb. What the hell is that? No talking aloud, only breathing. I obey begrudgingly, closing my eyes again. The dread knotting my chest subdues, my muscles relax. My body is heavy, as if I were back on my bed, too comfortable to move. The air flows through me with ease now, and I cling to the feeling of security it gives me. I'm in control once again.
Yeah.
That's it, you've got this. I shake my head as my eyes open once more to his smirk. It comes so easy to him. I'm happy I'm not alone. You have a strong grip, don't you? Ouch. I'm crushing his fingers between mine, twisting them in positions that don't look too comfortable, and yet I'm frankly sure he's just teasing me by the way the corner of his lips twitches when I release him. I let go, mumbling an apology under my breath. He shakes his head in disregard, raising his fist up at me. Well done. I can't stop a smile from climbing up my face. I knock my fist against his. Ah, this is a nice CG. Now, let's take a look at you. He winks at me, producing a handkerchief from the sleeve of his tunic.
Ah, here. Let me clean that pretty face of yours.
I chuckle as he reaches down to my chin, rubbing the soft cloth against my skin and swiping it over my lips. I let him work in silence, watching as he scrunches his brow in concentration. For a moment, I forget it's blood that he's cleaning off my face. I just become absorbed in the golden hue of his eyes and the little wrinkles around his lashes. There's a familiar warmth about him that puts me at ease. Then the handkerchief gets stuck on my right cheek. Something tugs at my pitch fuzz, and I groan. Sorry, you have a bit of... He scrubs with a little more strength, but I don't exactly feel it. There must be a sick patch of mud there, because it takes a while for the handkerchief to make contact. Why is he smirking like that? Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Lots. Can't you tell?
As cute as that smile is, you don't want to be eating mud, right? Well, close your mouth.
So you are that kind of guy.
Huh.
I don't know what you're talking about. When he seems satisfied, he pulls away and I catch a glimpse of something jet black and shining laying between the folds of the cloths. I feel the same something on my hand, gurgling and drying out. Clenching my teeth, I give my fingers a quick shake, but it only seems to cling to my skin even harder. Ugh, I can only hope it'll flake off later. There, much better. Looking pretty good if I do say so myself. Another wink comes my way, at least I think it's a wink. I offer him a friendly enough snort in return. I hope so. He folds a handkerchief and stows it in his tunic, stretching a hand out to me. Up. I take it, yelping when he almost sends me flying against his chest the moment he pulls me to my feet. Oops, sorry. It's fine, thanks,
Amon. The name's Amon. At your service.
He's nice. See, he's nice. Altair, nice to meet you, even in these circumstances.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, not ideal. The hand he keeps on my shoulder anchors me to the ground. I have a strange and absolutely uncalled for need to lean closer to him. I don't understand how he's so warm with only that coat draped around his shoulders. Maybe it's just as I'm freezing. With a shudder, I raise my head to eye him. By the way, can you... The bushes around us rustle, silencing me. I tell the sound of footsteps apart from the howling of the wind. Vivi! He beams directly at the myriad of trees and leaves shielding the darkness. I try to make out what he's seeing, but my eye catches his dense fog and waving branches. Then someone emerges from the shadows, announced by their pants and groans. A lean man whose face is obscured by a heavy hood leans against a nearby tree.
Finally. My legs.
They push themselves out from the row of trunks. Something in my brain clicks when the moon lights up their form, a reminding of the seer, of the mysterious aura around them. Baby, damn, you took your time. I had to fight off a voidy, you know?
This is your fault. You ran off by yourself without a warning. I'm not as fast as...
Yeah.
Yeah, look what I found. The newcomer brushes away the leaves clinging to his cloak, taking their hood off at once. A pair of venomous green eyes fall on me, an amused cold regarding me from head to toe before flickering back to Amon. Is this it?
Uh-huh.
Smells human to me. You're the expert. I take it back. Everything I said. Never mind, we're back into suspicious territory. You have never smelled a human. That you know of. Right. Sorry to interrupt, but I shake my bloody hand in the air. I'm hurt. If you could be so kind as to take me to the Silence, human. You will only speak when spoken to. Okay, you, come here. Come here. Come here. We gotta chat. We gotta chat.
Hey now.
Vivi. I'm not gonna comment. I'm not gonna comment on what you just said. I'm not gonna comment on what you just said. Vivi. I blink, stunned. For a moment I think I've imagined it, but they keep their eyes trained onto mine with raw disgust. I find myself at a loss for words. I've had dirty looks thrown my way before, but they were nothing compared to this. His pupils shrink until they're as thin as needles, and I can only think of a viper ready to sink its fangs into me.
We do not have time for this nonsense. All of the circles have been summoned.
All of them? Yes. Perhaps the sudden breaking of one of the most critical and universal rules of our existence is not an emergency for you, but it is for the rest of us.
Huh.
I mean, it doesn't look that deep to me. I can tell. I glance between them, mouth still parted like a fish gasping for air. Right, as much as I'm thankful to you, Amon, if you could just, I mean, I'm sure you two will have time to catch up after I'm taken care of. Oh, yeah, Bunny, this is Vivi, my little sibling. They're a bit rough around the edges, but they're a good kid. Stop calling me Bunny! Did he completely ignore me? Wait, what did you just call me?
It's Lord Envy, if you must address me.
But enough frivolities. There is no time to lose. You are coming with us if you value your life in silence. Not a suggestion, I see. Okay, no. I'm not going anywhere until you tell me where I am and who you are. And what do you mean? Are you threatening me? I'm merely warning you. If you look around, you'll most likely understand that you are not exactly in a field of roses. I can tell, thank you. Can you now? Clench my fists as a wave of anger runs through me. They're insulting me right to my face as casually as if they were discussing the weather. No, for no reason. Fuck you. Excuse me? What did you just say? I raise my voice enough to silence the light throbbing in my ears, taking a step towards them.
Fantastic. You are way simpler than I gave you credit for.
What's your problem, you asshole? My problem is that we do not have time to deal with your whining. Either you follow us or you stay here waiting for those creatures to get you.
No.
Vivi, stop, please. My whole body is burning. I can almost picture the exact moment in which I slap him across the face with my good hand. Amon touches my shoulder, beckoning me to look away from the object of my wrath. Right, please ignore my brother. What? They're being a bit of a little shit. Make sure the path's clear, would you? I'll deal with this. Whatever. Don't come crying to me if anything goes astray. And don't dawdle, unless you want to die. Then be my guest. Envy sneers at me before turning away and stalking off. I make sure to glare back. Well, that's that. He sighs heavily, massaging the bridge of his nose. You alright? I deflate at his question. I still train on the spot where Envy was not so long ago. I understand nothing. I'm bleeding, tired, thirsty, hungry, and the last thing I need is to get mad because of an idiot who wants to get on my nerves. Yeah, well, no, but... He smiles at me, slow and gentle. I'm glad at least he's the one who found me and not his dick of a sibling. Listen, I just want to know where we are now and how to get to a hospital. I think something was done to me and... He rubs the back of his neck, avoiding my eyes. This secrecy, this reluctance to answer my questions is honestly nerve-wracking. What if he What if he's also involved with that seer? Just because he was nice to me doesn't mean he doesn't want to hurt me later. Alright, this way. He starts walking. For a moment, I don't know if I should follow him or run in the other direction. Being overconfident is what brought me here, after all. I won't make that mistake again. When he notices I'm not moving, he turns around.
Uh-huh.
Come on, I'll show you where we are. But you gotta keep an open mind. I squint and size him up. He doesn't flinch under my stare. No tricks? His eyes draw a pointed line from the muddy top of my head to my soaked shoes. You have nothing to fear. I'm totally harmless. He resumes his pace, the deep thought swallowing his figure as he walks away, no waiting for my answer. I don't have much of a choice, have I? That's not very reassuring, you know. I know, but you have to trust me on this. Things are about to get weird for you, though. Oh, weirder than, whatever the hell that thing was?
Yeah.
A bit more than that. Great. I keep my distance as I stretch after him, trying to be wary of my surroundings. I'm beat. We're nearly on top of the hill, I think. The night and the low clouds around the woods now hide the vast expanse of trees stretching towards the horizon. We don't walk far for too much longer before Amon comes to a stop. Careful. My foot kicks a stray rock, catapulting it into another muddy descent. The fog has gotten so thick I can barely see anything. Next to me, Amon raises his arm, drawing a white arc in the air. The thick mist curls and glides away from him, retreating upwards into its nothing but a sheer veil of dew. My eyes follow the edge of a long bridge, piercing the fog and leading to what looks like a small mountain. A tall silhouette stretches into the sky, illuminated by the occasional flash of lightning. Thunder comes a few beats. Oh my god, can I read? Thunder comes a few beats after, a murmur that marks the distance between us and the storm. There, among the ragging clouds, stands a building with a soaring tower that shifts into a gargantuan spire. It looks like a cathedral, looming over the forest with an inanimate intimidation. The raspy clear of his throat startles me as Amon steps forward, waving his arm before him as if to show off the view.
Welcome to Limbo, the realm between. Our beloved home, prosperous land of the blessed ones. The realm between what, you ask? That's not important right now. But it sounds kinda cool, right?
The what? No, wait, I've heard that before. Limbo Scar oozes? So they were telling the truth?
Huh.
That's sort of, a slogan. Don't worry about it. My eyes are pinned on the castle carved in the night sky. Bits and pieces of my conversation with the seer, fragments of their voice and their face, flash into my mind. No. This is... If you don't have any more unnecessary questions, we can go back to the Silver Spire. They appear from thin air, arms hidden beneath their long cloak. There's a slight tremor in their shoulders and beads of sweat rolling down their temples. Vivi? You alright? I opened a rift between the watchtower of the bridge. It is too dangerous to go on foot. We should make haste before they were found. What? You didn't have to. That headache again. Fine, listen, we have to go now. Don't go. You know, the silly guy from before, there's more of them around and they're bad when they're together. Like, real bad. That big castle over there is where we're going. Our dad lives there. He will help you, alright? Emma's hand curls around my arm, its weight forcing my skin to creep up in painful goosebumps. There's panic in his grip. The idea of running away crosses my mind, but my feet are glued to the ground, my head clouded over by a growing haze. Don't go, my wanderer. Come to me. Ooh, this is cool. They want to take you from me. Don't let them. They're here. Fucking hell. Grab him. The tower's influence is starting to settle. What? I'm not going to grab him. Then let him die. Grab me? I glance over at Ammon's heavy build. Maybe I should have run him. No. How could I? I can barely stand straight. I'm only on my feet out of sheer force of will. Come to me, my wanderer. Do not fall for their trap. It's... Oh, no need to be scared. Don't make that face. Amen. I know. His grasp tightens around my arm. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here now. Distract him. Look, over there! I cringe the moment my finger snaps up behind him. No way he's going to fall for that. What? Okay. When he fully turns around and push him away with all my strength, I rarely manage to move him an inch, but it's enough to give me an opening. I start running, speeding up as fast as I can as my knees plead for mercy. I can't believe it worked. My god, he actually fucking fell for it. I faint past trees and rocks, air scorching my lungs as I take rapid breaths to feed my exhausted body. If I stop running, I'm done. Either I pass out or I get caught. I don't even know if they're following me. I can't hear anything besides the crunching of leaves under my shoes. Don't look back, just run forward. Follow my voice, my wanderer, come to me. The forest is just a blur of green and black as I do my best to keep my feet moving. I don't know where I'm going, but... A yank on the back of my neck makes my heels dig into the soil. I skid through it before my muscles grin to a halt. I'm bent backwards, bone cracking as my spine arches to its limit and a painful sap runs down to my toes. The thought is crystal clear in my mind. Move, run, but my body doesn't respond. Something flashes before my eyes, quick like lightning. I can't move. Every fiber of my body has the tension of a bowstring, held impossibly taut. I shouldn't be standing. I look to the side. Something stares and spasms amidst the dirt and mud. It's back. Amorphous and vile, decomposing, clawing at the ground, trying to get up, and behind it, worming through the trees, more like it. Out there, over here. Move, 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 move. Move! I close my eyes, gritting my teeth. I can't feel my arms nor my legs, but I know they're there. I swallow down a breath, fighting against this hold on me. I fall back, every muscle and bone melting into a puddle at once. A pair of hands curl under my armpits. My vision blurs before focusing into a face I recognize. Damn it, hold on. He lets me go and my chest heaves as I enter freefall. Then I blink and I'm wrapped in his arms again. What? I'm starting to... wonder?
Hey now.
Hey, eyes open. Eyes open, come on. Let me go, I have to go. I push him away, my shoulders thumping against the harsh bark of a nearby tree. Listen to me. I freeze, his broad figure casts a long shadow on me, feral and severe. You ain't safe here, you hear me? Don't listen to it.
No.
Wherever you think you're going, that's a dead end. Going? I was going somewhere? You trusted me before, I need you to trust me again. Before? That wasn't trust. Trust is a completely different thing. He just seemed decent enough and... I don't have the energy to argue. I've reached my limit. There'll be a time to explain everything later, but we have to leave now. My eyes snap up when something moves behind me. Envy rushes past us, a mass of green and black against the purplish shade of night. Amen, cross the rift and go. I'll deal with these abominations myself. But you can't... I said go. I don't have time to register what's happening. I only know that one moment my feet are on the ground and the next I'm in the air. I scream as my head knocks against Ammon's shoulder. The woods are a mix of color and noise on my periphery as I'm carried through them at a speed that has my chest tightening. No, 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 this is too fast, I'm gonna... I dig my nails into his forearm, bracing myself. I close my eyes and swallow the acid climbing up to my tongue. The unmistakable taste of breakfast rising in the back of my throat. I open my eyes, only to close them again, gasping for breaths of air that doesn't come. Something is shining so brightly, I wince when I try to catch my glimpse, turning my head to shield myself from the light.
Oh.
It's alright. Oh, sorry. I want to believe him, I really want to, but there's no ways anything is okay right now. My pulse beats achingly in my fingertips, my cheeks, my temples. Right, you can open your eyes now. There's a long hallway ahead, a floor of polished tile stretching as far as the eye can see. My mouth holds open as I crane my neck back to follow the lines of the stone columns, disappearing into a thick darkness obscuring the ceiling. The grim silence and earthiness of the forest has been replaced by the flicker of torches and the faint scent of wax. Wait, how did we get here? Where? Aemon shifts his weight, his grip on me tightening briefly as he makes a sharp turn. I instinctively cling to him, afraid that he's going to start running again.
Yeah.
You see? Safety! Amidst the floating dust and the feeble light of the torches framing each side of the hallway, I catch a glimpse of the forest. The image wavers as if the dark trees and the scrawny branches were buried underwater. I can read. It twitches and spasms, surrounded by a white shine that distorts the rest of the hallway. It's like a living painting, floating in the middle of the air, and when I squint to get a closer look, I realize there's something moving behind it. Here they come. What the? Did he just... Wait. Remnants of liquid light beat on Envy's shoulders. He grunts and huffs, supporting themselves on their knees before fanning their hair back and standing tall. They glare at their brother, then back at me, and I stare in shock as the forest disappears behind them, shrinking until it's just a speck of luminous dust. Envy mutters something under their breaths, dusting off their tunic. Somehow I manage not to stare too hard at their spasming, stiff hand. More than a hand, it looks like a claw, sharp and twisted. You alright? They arch an offended eyebrow. Of course I am. Where's your cloak? Don't mention it. Then their eyes roam all over me, curiosity behind his judging gaze, and I remember that I'm still in Eamon's arms. My eyes draw a line up to his exposed throat and his jaw. He holds me firmly, but not forcefully. It doesn't look like he's about to put me down anytime soon. Well, as much as being carried is more comfortable than running for my life, I still can manage walking on my own. I think. Excuse me, can you put me down?
Huh.
He comes and tilts his head down to meet my eyes. A couple of blinks follow until he also seems to register that he's been holding me all this time. Sure, yeah, sorry. He crouches and sets me down, my knees wobbling momentarily before I get my bearings. His hands remains hovering near my sides, ready to catch me if I stumble. Okay? I look down at my shoes, tapping the floor with my feet to get my blood flowing again. Okay. He grins, lifting his fist to me. Good job. Behind me, a loud scoff cuts off my reply. Good job? He did literally nothing besides give us trouble. Alma's expression goes flat, a reflection of my exasperation. Ignore them. They're just jealous. He wiggles his fist, and I can hold back a wheezing chuckle. I bump it in reply, and the cheerful grin that returns in kind beams brighter than the torches around us. As if you neophytes would have never had a chance out there without my aid. Just call us Neanderthals. Amon huffs in defeat, making a face at me as Envy walks past us with an air of dignity. He rolls his eyes dramatically, and the moment is enough to briefly pull me out of my panic-induced thoughts. His smile is warm, good-natured, and way too easy to appreciate. There's something in me that wants to cling to the strange feeling of safety he radiates, to the way his eye creases as he waits for me to start moving again. Let's go, hmm? I nod, following after him. As we walk, I realize I'm calmer now, too calm in fact. There are a lot of questions mingling in the back of my mind, but the forefront of my thoughts is surprisingly empty and peaceful. This place has some sort of soothing effect on me. It's almost familiar. I can't tell where this hallway leads to, but somehow I feel like I know. So where exactly... Dale! He breaks into a jog, leaving me behind with an Envy that does his best to hide their face behind their hair. Ugh, great, the master is here. Oh, hello! Who are you? Peeking around Envy's shoulder, I see a man standing further ahead, the soft flicker of the candles drawing the edges of a long and lustrous cloak. He turns around with a star worry written across his face. Amen! He strides up to us, the long cloak draped across his shoulders flaring up behind him. The candle lights by his feet waver as he picks up speed, meeting Amon halfway.
Father keeps me. Are you two alright?
Yeah.
Kinda. But that's not important. Look at this. He excitedly does jazz hands around me. It's enough to catch the newcomer's attention. Oh, he's so silly. The color drains from his delicate face. I shuffle my feet, gluing my hands to my sides in a poor attempt to look better than I know I do. There's not much saving my first impression. Not that it should matter. Is this the cause of all this mess? Yes. Oh dear. In a single fluid motion, he sweeps his coat off his shoulders, throwing Amon a pointed glare. I am extremely disappointed in you, Amon.
Huh.
What? I expected this level of sloppiness from our sibling, but not from you. What are you really beeping? Huh? Excuse me? To allow him to be in this foul condition. Wait, I can explain.
No.
I said you knew better than this. Gil shakes his head, not leaving room for any argument. For the first time, Amon's impermeable smile is shattered and reduced to a sour pout. I feel a bit bad for him. A bit. With only 2 steps of his fairly long legs, Gil stands in front of me, offering me a heartfelt bow of his head.
On behalf of my siblings, please, let me apologize.
My mouth parts, but only a pitiful sound makes it out as our gazes lock. Behind his eyes, ripples of glimmering silk move in the color of early dawn. Pink shines from within a pool of royal purple, enthralling me completely. I can see lightning dancing around his tiny pupils as a quiet whisper caresses the back of my neck, making the hair stand on end. It's difficult to look away.
You must be cold and terrified, among other things. I promise you will be treated with the utmost care and respect from now on.
I don't register the cape falling around my shoulders until he castles in place, smoothing the sides with meticulous hands. The scent of lavender and detergent clashes with the stench clinging to my body. The warmth of the fabric drags aside of me. My body stirs back to life at the sensation, my hands sneaking out of the coat, close it around me and press its comfort and weight against my tepid skin. I can't, for the life of me, summon any strength to speak. We do not have time to lose to play the gentleman. Gale's head snaps up to envy and careful consideration. His eyes immediately side to the arm they've been very insistent on hiding. You are right. You in particular should make haste. You two go ahead. Rhea is already waiting in the spire. I'm sure our dear sister will appreciate a bit of insight about the situation at hand.
Huh.
Are we using the spire? Yes. Every precaution is too little. A particularly strained beat of silence goes by. I look between them, but there's nothing I can decipher from the mix of expressions on their faces. And what are you planning to do with this? Her hand waves in my direction. Gale places himself slightly in front of me to protect me from envy's rudeness. As for our esteemed guests, I'll see to it that they're in better condition before meeting our father. You can fathom what he would say if only by my own reaction. As he says that, his long fingers rest on my shoulder. The touch is so light I would have missed it if it wasn't for the scent of leather tickling my nostrils. You cannot be serious. Gale stands taller next to me. I glance up at him as his throat bobs down with a hard swallow, the tension clear in the air. Alright, we'll leave the little bunny in your hands then. The what? Amon thrusts his arm along Envy's slender shoulders, pulling them against his sides right when they're about to protest. Instead, there's only a nasty choking sound and a rather ominous crack. Amon! See you in a bit. What? You cannot be out! Amon winks at me and turns swiftly on his heels, dragging Envy with him. They both retreat deeper into the hallway. Past the torches, I can see a waving in the distance.
They are a colorful pair, are they not?
Sure. Colorful is a curious way of putting it.
Please, allow me to apologize again, and not only on their behalf. Had I known the direness of your state, I would have done something to assist.
Excuse me, that sounds incredibly self-centered. He fidgets with the color of his shirt. He looks like a prince in distress more than I do, and that's saying something. Don't worry, no offense taken.
Thank you. Now, come. I may not be able to do much, but it will be better than nothing.
He leads me aside and coaxes me to sit down on the wall's overhanging frieze. Our hands find each other naturally, and he doesn't let go of me until he's sure I'm not about to keel over. Even when I smile up at him reassuringly, his fingers hover close, ready to support me if needed. Before I can even begin to thank him, he bends a knee in front of me.
May I?
Okay. White noise takes over my already struggling brain as he earnestly looks up at me. My heart flutters seeing how the deep color of his eyes pours into me, warm and kind. It takes me a long couple of seconds to understand he wants to see my hand. When I try to pull my arm out of the coat, it gets tangled in the flaps, and I struggle to push them away. Allow me. He reaches out, his fingers delicately peeling off the pieces of fabric and freeing my hand. Heat races into my cheeks as I place my palm in front of him. Sorry, I swear I'm not usually this clumsy.
Don't say that. You're already going through a great deal.
Bit of clumsiness is expected, and the least of our concerns. I wouldn't mind you remain collected in this situation. I'm still not sure what the situation is, to be honest. His fingers slowly close around the back of my hand as he inspects the blood-soaked bandage. Yes, I should apologize about that too. However, I'm afraid I can't give you many answers. Even if I had them, it is not my right to explain. But know that our intentions are not malicious. That I can swear to you. I bore my eyes into his, trying to find any cracks, any hints that betray his true intentions. There are none. That's reassuring, if true. He holds my hand as though it were made of spun glass. He slowly removes what once was part of my shirt, now a damp crimson piece of fabric. You did a great job. I did what I could, I guess. He reveals the wound. Underneath the blood, the blades of grass, and the dirt, I can still see the black ink decorating the back of my hand. He retrieves a cotton handkerchief from his pants pocket and his eyes search mine, asking for permission. I nod. I'm absorbed by the delicacy of his movements as he slowly cleans upward from my knuckles. He purposely avoids a trace of ink, and his eyes narrow when the drawing starts to reveal itself. Do you know what it is?
No.
Not without further examination. He hesitates when faced with the entrance of the cut. I would like to alter it as little as possible, so if you'll excuse me. Yeah, I get it. I'll try not to think about the consequences of leaving a wound of this caliber untreated. He ties the end of the handkerchief together with a bow too fine for the occasion, and his thumb swipes across it as if to check its security. The sensation of the letter against my skin makes me flinch.
Does it hurt? Of course it does. Forgive me.
This is as much as I can do for now. This is a lot, if we take the rest of my day into consideration. Between being stabbed, kidnapped, or this, I think the choice is pretty easy. He laughs breathily at that, but there's a concerned dip in the bridge of his nose, as though he can't decide whether he should keep laughing or not. Oh, well, that is a robust sense of humor. Thank you. Gale? Gale, was it?
Oh, yes. Where are my manners? It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Gael, current master
Gael.
of the Grand Houses.
I should have known that this game is Spanish. I should have known it's Gael. As he takes a seat next to me, leaving a polite distance between us, I tilt my head to the side to get a better look. It only takes him a second to avert his gaze from me with a nervous clear of his throat. Which is a title you have no concept of, so it's not exactly relevant. I can't help but chuckle at his bashfulness. Nice to meet you, Gael. Master? Master Gael? No need. Gael will suffice. As I mentally repeat his name, something about it just sounds off. He doesn't look like someone who should be addressed by their first name. Shall we continue? He motions for us to stand, but waits for my reactions first. Near the end of the hallway, where the other two disappear behind us, is still as cryptic as it was before. Can we stay here for a moment? I need to catch my breath a beat. Surprise marks his features, but it lasts only for a blink. Yes, of course. I cannot leave you alone, however, for your safety. I hope my presence isn't too unwelcome. It's not, it's just... I'm having a hard time trusting anything or anyone. It's not just you. I understand. It is a wise thing to do, Altair. It rolls off his tongue softly, as if something meant to be said with care. A wonderful name, if you'll allow me to say. Oh, well, it doesn't have as much class as Master Gael, but I'll accept the compliment. Before I realize it, I'm extending my other hand for him to shake. He stares at it in dumbfounded silence. He clasps my hand with his and I squeeze. His breath staggers in the back of his throat as he pulls back, rattling his hand against his chest. Sorry, did I squeeze too hard? No, forgive me. He casts his gaze lower to his slacks, stooping down to brush up a non-existent speck of dirt. Did I do something wrong, or weird for that matter? We should continue. I hate to pressure you, but the longer we wait, the more unstable you may get. Unstable? He stands up and straightens his vest, brushing his hair away from his face with a jerk of his chin. Awkwardness has found its way through his smile, but he still waits patiently for me to leave our improvised seats. I don't know what I did or said, but I would rather go back to the comfortable silence from before. Thank you for being so kind to me. Gael? He starts walking and I'll follow after. He doesn't respond. I know he heard me. If he wants to ignore me, he'll have to work harder than that. I just wanted to thank you for being so kind to... I managed to step aside before I stumble into him. Me. Please allow me to apologize again, Altair. I do not mean to rush you. While there are indeed pressing matters to attend to, I would not want there to be the expense of your comfort. It is not my intention to distress you any further or treat you unkindly. You have been pretty kind to me. That's what I just said. What I mean to say is... Gael. His lips squeezed shut. Did you hear me? You're by far the kindest person I have talked to since I got here. No offense to your siblings. Amon is fine, I guess.
Oh, that's...
He looks away. The collar of his shirt seems to be too tight because he keeps slipping a finger around it to loosen it.
I do not know about that. There's nothing extraordinary about my actions. Anyone would have done the same.
My feet carry me closer to him and his shoulders perk up before he can catch himself. I mean it. I can almost hear the protest his brain is crafting, but he gives up on it when it's a resigned exhale. His eyes, so open before, are now clouded by something I can't quite place. You are most gracious, Altair. Don't mention it. We smile at each other. In other circumstances, maybe I would be admiring his perfectly sculpted face like I would a piece of art on a museum wall, as awkward as that would be. Not now, however. There are more important things to do, or more precisely, to ask. So, what now? What happens to me next? He shifts his weight, taking a long pause before speaking next. I am not sure. We, the sovereigns, those in charge of safekeeping Limbo's realm, are arranged to meet with you shortly. We will decide how to proceed then, after a very much needed debate. The sovereigns? How many people are we talking about? You have already met Amon and Envy. I have 3 other siblings, and our father will lead the meeting. He's, the supreme authority of Limbo, you could say. That doesn't put me at ease in the slightest. The supreme authority doesn't sound too nice, but I guess he's the only chance I have to find some answers. Who better than the person who commands the place to shed some light on all of this? And what exactly is Limbo? Our home, just like the firstborn, is yours. That's what you call it? Firstborn? Yes, our world came to life after yours, hence the name. Right. But that is not of importance right now. I know it is easier said than done, but do not get caught in the details. The last thing you need is for your sanity to be jeopardized. Something unusual has happened, and we want to resolve this as peacefully as possible, both you and us. I silently agree. My head has started to spin again just from that brief exchange. Taking a step back, he offers me his arm. The smile he flashes me next is different, distant. Let us hurry then. Hesitantly, I curl my fingers around the crook of his elbow. He leads the way forward, and we walk along the eerie hallway once more, this time in silence. He doesn't make any attempt to strike up conversation, and I'm not in position to do so either. We merely count our steps as we endlessly follow the cobblestone paths. The silence is surprisingly welcome, but short-lived. Something wails from within the walls. It's like a quiet mourning, the wheezing cries of the wind leaking through the cracks of every brick shaping the corridor. I can vaguely distinguish mumbled words among the noise. I look up at Gael, but he's merely staring ahead, his gaze unwavering. If he hears it too, he doesn't react whatsoever. Then my skin crawls as a slow, unnerving smile curves his lips. He looks alien, uncanny, detached, as if he was carved from marble rather than born. What was a soothing presence a second ago now makes me swallow hard and loosen the grip I have on his arm. Why does he feel so different from before? Or am I the one who is... We stop. A gate made of stone and wood stands before us. The archivolts go up as far as I can see, framing a tympanum that portrays a long-haired man in its center. His hands extend to each side, fingers stretching outward like branches embracing the scene below. Around him, several worshippers clamber up a hill, trying to reach him at the top. Pendant adorns his chest. It's some sort of eye inscribed in a bent triangle. Wait, I've seen that before. I cling intensely to Gael's arm when the gates open with a thundering noise, making the walls tremble. He finally looks at me as if awakening from a long dream. It's all right. A gust of cold air hits me, coiling around my feet and filtering through the cloak. The scent of something acrid burns my nose. The gates are now wide open. We're facing the austere, seven-sided room. The subtle stream of light coming from the ceiling shines through floating specks of dust, and I look down at the threshold, clean cut, keeping the cobblestone from continuing inside. This way. I don't move, yanking him back with a strength I didn't know I still had. There's a chair made of stone in the middle of the room, rooted to the cracked floor. Over it hovers a shining black figure that catches the light coming from above. An endless pit surrounds it all, and from it emerges the ominous hum of the earth far, far below. There's a balcony in the back on the first level, framing the whole room. Colosseum made to observe and feast on what happens down to the pits, on the mental and physical carnage of the wicked and the doomed. It's a judgment room at best and a torture chamber at worst. Don't go in there. I shake my head, taking a step back. A whiff of nausea pierces my chest and I let go of Gaia's arm as though it were burning.
Are you alright? What's wrong?
I'm not going in there. Please. I know it's not the most pleasant of sights, but you must trust me. I can't do that. I'm not going in there. There's no way. Altair, please reconsider. There's nothing to reconsider. If someone wants to talk to me, they can do it right here. This is just standard procedure, Altair.
I promised you would be safe, did I not? Can you please believe in those words?
I don't know, man. I want to. I want to believe someone is on my side. But I don't. I see. He withdraws the hand that had reached to touch me, rubbing his wrist instead. My chest rises and falls erratically as his eyes slide to the room before us. I am terribly sorry. You leave me no choice. As I'm about to speak, a chill runs from the top of my head to the tip of my toes, crushing my throat. Something pierces down my spine next, gluing me to the spot. Altair, please, get into the room. His eyes pour into me, swallowed by a haunting glow. Everything around those glimmering irises becomes dark and blurry. I feel my thoughts seeping out of my head, and then nothing. Nothing but Master Gael. Take a seat. Yes, Master. I walk through the narrow corridor leading to my appointed chair. A rock slips off the bridge and falls into the void without a sound. My eyes follow the pebble until it vanishes into the darkness. There's nothing but peace and quiet around me, nothing but the calm and careful beat of my heart in my ears. I sit down, my back slowly meets the stone, and my hands lay on the armrest. The tepid warmth of the candle slicks what little skin peeks from the master's cloak. The ball floating above, no, the eye, stares for life and regards me with a quiver. Huh? The air suddenly slices my lungs open and tears a high-pitched gasp out of me. Heat rises to my head in the shape of my own voice reverberating inside my skull and over again. The thoughts flow back inside me, desperately filling the emptiness left behind. What did you do to me? I'm sorry. Flames light every patch of my skin. I desperately shake the cloak off me, pushing my sleeve all the way up to my shoulders. You! He casts his eyes down to where his discarded cloak lays. The coat floats into the air, fanning my sweat-stained cheeks in the process. It flies away from me and neatly coils itself around Giles' arm. Thank you.
No.
Don't mention it. I frankly sweep my eyes across the room in realization. Aemon is sitting on one of the thrones, one leg hoisted over his knee. He raises a hand in silent greeting when he catches me staring. Next to him stands Envy, not claiming any seat. The only sign of acknowledgement they give me is stuffing their nose in the air. The sting on their arm, it's completely gone.
My. That takes some courage, brother. Good work.
Oh, hello, ma'am! There's someone else in the room. Right in front of me, a woman stands high on the balcony, Hands leaned on the railing.
You did well. Father's eye will now do the rest.
Her voice sinks deep into my bones. I would think her presence has sucked all the air out of the room, but I know it's simply me holding my breath. Her head tilts up ever so slightly, sizing me up so early. You received notice more than an hour ago. What were you doing? My apologies, dear Prefectus. I wanted to present our guest in better shape than we found him, for our father's sake. Alas, I am not sure I achieved that. She raises a hand to her forehead, leaving alongside. Her right arm reflects the purplish light of the room, highlighting the many curves and crevices giving shape to an elegant processes. You and your compassion again, Guile. I admire you. It does not falter even in these circumstances, does it? On the contrary, it should be stronger than ever in moments like this. If you don't mind me, I will take my seat now. He turns with a bow, and I stare at his receding back. The paralyzing fear strangling me only heightens with every step he takes. Who is he? No, what is he? What are these people? I take this as him. She's looking at me. The drum of her metallic claws on the stone echoes long enough for me to flinch. Her crimson eyes flicker with a dull curiosity as they fall on me. I curl my hands into fists as I hold her stare. Gile's handkerchief tightens around my hand.
Uh-huh.
Yep, this is him. The woman inspects me more closely now. So this little thing crosses the crystal border and lives. Quite a miracle, don't you think? My tongue darts out to ease the dry creases of my lips. There's a clear accusation behind that clipped tone of hers. And those beasts haven't turned him to shreds either, as I can see. Not a limb infected or missing. They tried to, for sure. We were lucky to be there. We'll see about that. She sighs once more with an audible tension and closes her eyes. When she opens them next, they instantly find me like a knife through the chest.
Listen up, child of the firstborn. I am Prefectus Rhea, guardian of this realm and protector of this sacred chamber. I will be the one to judge you on this day.
Can I go home? You will answer every question asked to you, and you will do so with honesty, lest you receive the punishment you'd be looking for. Have I made myself clear? Yes, ma'am. It's in my best interest to behave if I want to get out of here in one piece. Doesn't make it any easier to swallow what's left of my pride. Yes, ma'am. No need. You may address me as Prefectus, whether to answer or ask. Oh, so I can ask as well. Interesting. Yes, Prefectus. The corner of her lips was a slight smirk, lighting up her eyes with a glow proper of a sated wolf. Good. Cooperate with me, and you shall be rewarded. Now, amen. What? Keep him still. We will begin as soon as father returns. What? Wait, what? My brother will keep you restrained during this process. You must understand that this situation calls for every safety measure available. Please, Prefectus. We do not think that is necessary.
No.
He's harmless, Ray. You should know that better than us. Just look at him.
We do not know that. I won't make the mistake of being incautious.
Eamon really said this still looks like he would fucking die if he threw a punch. I glance at the closed gates. For an instant, I imagine myself sprinting and pushing them open, but they look insanely heavy. Even if I had the strength to run up there without slipping and falling to my death, I don't know if I'd be able to push them open. If what you said is right, and this being comes from the other side, then we don't know what he's capable of, and we should treat him as such. We do not know what the effects his presence may have. The balance has never been so feeble, and now this happens. He can barely stand. He's weakened. This is not a game, Amon. His intentions do not matter. He disrupts the balance merely by existing here.
We should handle the situation with as much care as possible. And that means not taking any chances.
Oh.
I can see that, but... He is harmless, sister. I have been alone with him, and no harm has come my way. There is no need to succumb to panic this quickly. So I should be grateful nothing has happened to you? Father keeps me guided. Listen to yourself.
No.
I am merely saying that we don't have to judge him as a criminal. And all I'm advocating for is ensuring our safety. You want to play around and discover what follows, then do so, but not in my chambers and not in my presence. I agree with the Perfectus. We have to cast our feelings aside, and likely our morals too, if we want to get to the bottom of this.
No.
I certainly refuse to do that.
Ugh, children.
Smells like honey, sweet orange blossoms in spring carried by the tepid breeze of the sunset. A rainy day spent sitting on the porch of an old house with a trusted friend. It smells like home.
I'm afraid our guest isn't feeling too well. We should calm down and lower our voices, yes?
Golden light ushers the room's shadows away. It bathes my skin, laying down soothing kisses, and I find myself sighing at the sensation. A man dressed in white emerges next to Rhea. Pushing her away gently with one hand, he stands in the middle of the balcony, watching on with eyes of liquid sunlight that pour right into me. His fingers draw an arc in the air that leaves behind a trail of stardust.
It is quite cold in this room. My apologies.
The air around me warms up, embracing me with loving arms. The sweetness in the air expands, engulfing me, and I tilt my head back in relief. Slowly, the terrifying knot in my stomach loosens, deftly unpicked by tendrils of light. That is better, yes? I nod. A tingle in my belly urges me to look away from him, to avert my eyes from the unparalleled magnificence that he is, battling the feral need to just drown in the sight of him. Then it clicks. He is the man on the hill. He is the god carved on top of those gates. Fear not, my guest. It is an honor, as the father of this realm, to welcome you to my home. You must understand the apprehension of my children. They mean no harm, and neither do I. A hand lifts and strokes my chin. It's warm and light, but invisible to the eye. The touch pulls at a string I didn't know was attached to my chest, slowly untangling it. Every fear and worry dissolves by his hand, freeing me. What a magnificent creature, don't you think, my children? No one is looking at me, no one but him.
I am the father, pride of Limbo. You may think of me as the creator of all that you see before your eyes.
These are my beloved children. I ask that you be kind when thinking of them. Taking a step forward, Rhea clears her throat. A hand brushing my jaw shies away, leaving no trace behind.
Father, please excuse our behavior.
No need. Losing our manners is bound to happen in the light of such an unusual event. Speaks of your noble heart and your honorable intention. Once more, I am proud of you. I am only sorry that I could not be here with you sooner, my children. The room is enveloped in tight silence as everyone settles into their seats without uttering a word. The lump in my throat, albeit less painful than a moment ago, still prevents me from doing more than swallowing. I should speak, or maybe I shouldn't. The best I can do is try to plead my case, but I have to be careful. Could I speak? Their eyes bore into me. I try not to shrink under them. I look to the Prefectus for permission, but she averts her gaze. There's a higher authority in the room right now. If you could wait, my beloved guest, I would appreciate it. There are 2 of my children left for you to meet. With all due respect, Father, I would advise you proceed with the judgment without them. This is much too dangerous of a matter to involve them. Yes, I understand your concern, but I'm afraid they are already here. Right on cue, there's a loud knocking from the other side of the gates. A breeze of laughter slips past Father's lips, and his hand sweeps through the air at the very moment the doors begin to part. Oh, pretty! A bright-haired woman cheerfully waltzes in, dangerously close to the edge of the bridge. She bounces on her toes, a young man helplessly perched on her shoulder.
Ara, put me down! My stomach's still...
You said you were too tired to walk, right?
The sillies. That doesn't mean you get...
At least walk straight!
Oh, sucks to be you. It's your fault we're late. So, deal with it.
I didn't want to come in the first place, and you don't have to... Just put me down!
He brings a hand to his mouth as a very audible retch reaches my ears, urging a similar reaction from me. If she slips, both of them will fall to their inevitable deaths. I instantly glue myself to my seat. The edge of the backrest jabbed my spine. My loveliest, you shouldn't run through the hallways. You might slip on the walks. It's fine. Sorry for the delay, Dad. No need, my dear. But do put poor Shal down. Is it Shal or Chal?
Ugh.
I don't know. I think he deserves a bit more punishment. Let's save that for tea time, hmm? For now, we should take our seats. Yep, sorry. You see, someone had to go to the bathroom and couldn't wait. Oh, I can projectile vomit all over the place if you want me to. Let's also save that for later. I doubt our guest would appreciate that.
Huh?
Right, our guest. She puts the boy down with little delicacy, almost throwing him into the air. Sweet circles. Is it true then?
Indeed.
Yes, my dear. Your siblings just escorted him here.
The Wanderer of Worlds! I really thought you were messing with me.
It's not your damn Wanderer, Ara. Stop believing in that kind of stuff.
Ugh.
I'm not saying he is, but how many people have claimed to see the Wanderer lately, huh? And how do you explain this? This is proof it's real. Sure, proof. See that this is your fault for paying attention to those weirdos. And speaking of paying, there's no trace of the decentness he had a second ago as he extends a greedy hand to her.
Hey, Daisy.
She falls silent. For a moment, it feels like I'm looking at a statue.
Huh?
Come on! Wouldn't have bet on it if I had known.
Oh, boo-hoo. Pay.
Ugh.
She growls, throwing her arms into the air before jabbing a hand into the purse around her waist. I hear the familiar clinking of coins as she slams it onto his open palm. Hey, we said 30.
Ugh.
We're not paying you 30. You are paying me 30.
In fact, you said 30, plus fixing the compost machine yourself for a month, and cooking sweet leaf tarts for me the whole week.
Ugh.
Shal. No, don't fight. Let us sort this out together later, yes? Fine. But you still owe me 20. They make their way to the balconies, each step louder than before, even as they drift away. I watch as they continue their casual chat, throwing glances at me all the while. When a girl notices me staring, she waves at me. I avert my eyes. I need to get out of here, now. The doors are still open, and I feel reasonably better. I know that's not me, but the hold this place, or the man in gold, has on me, but maybe I can take advantage of it. I can sprint to the door, get to the hallway, and if I'm lucky enough, maybe lose them through the corridors if they give chase. There's no time for a second guessing. Haha. I try to hoist my body up with my hands, but I'm pushed down again the moment my reel leaves the chair. I told you, Amon. Oh dear. I ask that you remain seated, my guest. My fingers spasm where I command them to move. Every mechanism in my body halts. A fist pulls back on the reins of my muscles, janking me back against the stone. All the blood rushes to my head, the only thing that is still mine. It's useless. I can barely blink and breathe, and maybe I should be grateful for that. It takes me a long time to move my eyes to meet Amon's. His left hand is facing down, pointing vaguely at me. He's the one doing this to me, isn't he? But how? How is this?
Indeed.
Splendid. We can begin. The 6 thrones are occupied. Father stands on the balcony, hands joined before his chest. I am about to be judged. For what? I don't know. It is known, today, a human has crossed the border between our realms and the Firstborn. This is proof. This isn't real. There's no way any of this is real. Now, I will hear about the recent events from my eldest, Lord Amon. Amon's mouth opens and his eyes take a beeline to Envy, who is staring stoically down at their hands. Well, Dad, Vivi was the one who... Father, Lord Envy was the one who felt the pull on the border. I think it's them who should. You know your sibling cannot answer, son. The finger still pointing at me twitch. I try to jerk my arm up, but the intangible force wrapped around me pushes back down. If he gets distracted enough, maybe I can... Yes, of course. He stands. The rasp of his throat disrupts the ominous silence. We were both in the Black Citadel when Lord Envy felt the warden weaken. We saw a light in the sky after that. We hurried to the woods past the circles, and we found the human near the limits. Pause. We encountered some voidbound. More than usual, they chased us beyond the limits. We're far away from them at that. They got really close to the forest bridge. That is quite concerning. It is. The voidbound venturing off limits, that can only mean the tower is getting more powerful. We should raise the alarm in nearby towns. The tower, hearing that word is enough to drive my heart all the way down to the pit of my stomach. This may be my only chance. Excuse me, that tower you mentioned, what is it? Judging by the many reactions around me, it seems they've forgotten I was here altogether. We do not know what exactly. It is an entity that has been feeding off Limbo's essence for eons, long before some of us were born. Its origin is unknown, as are its goals. We assume it is sentient and intelligent to a degree. Any attempts to communication have been fruitless, however. That vile thing is a threat that spits monsters into our realm, the Voidbound, which you have had the pleasure of becoming acquainted with. That should be enough to satisfy your curiosity. No, it's not. If anything, I have even more questions now, but I'm not sure how smart it is to show interest in this entity they're so afraid of. I see it in my dreams, after all. Maybe it's a bad omen, or worse, something that could get me killed if they found out.
Ah, curiosity is a marvelous thing. Please don't hold back if you harbor any more questions.
I can see through that affable smile of his, but my guts turn and twist at the sight. There's something behind those words, intent, maybe, a wish for me to keep asking.
You wish to speak, did you not? This is your chance. I now grant you permission to plead your case, if you will. Our dear Prefectus moderates this chamber, but today I will be the one to heed your words. I advise you to be wary of what you say, or what you do not.
A whole drop of sweat rolls down my temple. My mouth is so dry I almost choke around my tongue. I don't really know what to say. I don't know who you are or where I am to begin with, but I'll tell you anything you want to know, with one condition. Whispers erupt around me, some entertained, some horrified. My voice gets caught in the bottom of my throat for a moment before I can speak again. You must guarantee my safety. Promise me I won't be harmed, and I'll tell you everything I know.
I never had any intentions of hurting you, my dear guest. I assure you that you fall under my protection, and my word and my will are law. Is that enough to ease your concerns?
I somehow manage to hold his stare. I can't, for the life of me, read his expression at all. Mm? Mm? Taking into account the situation we are in? No. Actually, because Gael looked trustworthy a second ago, and then he fucking controlled me like a puppet, so... No offense, but I don't trust your word nor your laws. In fact, I don't even know about your laws. Your words have no value to me. I advise you to keep your insolence in line, outsider. I'm an outsider, yes, that's precisely why I have so many reservations. Let it be, Perfectus. There is truth to his words. He analyzes me with a smile, eyes roaming over my form as if looking at me for the first time once more. Hands on behind his back, he begins to pace, his gaze sunk into mine. What would be meaningful to you then, my guest? A contract? Would my written word have more value than my voice? A vow, perhaps, a pact in which my promises becomes etched into your very soul? It is doable. I can formally offer you a deal in return for your cooperation. However, the consequences of such a feat are as unknown to me as you are. I gulp. I see you understand. I am the all and the everything. I am the pride of Limbo. Where my words are harmless, my powers may be lethal. I do not advise you to seek anything beyond a spoken compromise, which is what I offer you. Only the sound of my breath disrupts the grotesque silence looming over the room. My reckless behavior starts to sink in as the pride of Limbo, whatever he is, looks at me with unblinking eyes. I see we have reached an agreement. We will start with the very basics. Introduce yourself to the chamber, my dear. My surprise must be showing because he tilts his head to the side, inviting me to answer. My name is Altair. I live in Faerborn, a small seaside town. I'm nobody in particular, I guess. What about your intentions, my guest? Intentions right now? Survive, I guess? His blutter echoes from one side of the room. Ara slaps a hand over her mouth, but the motion only makes her slip more evident. Rhea clears her throat. I can feel the strain in her forehead as she tries not to roll her eyes. How did you get here? I don't know. A seer stabbed my hand. What? A seer? I went with a friend of mine to get her fortune read. They offered me a reading too, and then they started saying the weirdest things. They attacked me, stabbed my hand, and the floor gave in. Then I fell, and I remember... I rack my brain only to find that those memories are still scattered and fragmented. Sensations remain, but I can't put them into coherent words. I remember the ocean and the stars. Someone was talking to me, then I woke up in the forest. I don't think it's wise to tell them that the seer told me about this somehow, about the one between, or wait, are you the one between? His golden eyes widen. For a moment as brief as a blink, his calm countenance is shattered by the grip of fear.
That is quite enough.
My mouth comes shut instantly.
Hmm.
I agree. It is bold of you to assume you could spit all this nonsense without being. I'm not lying!
Hey,
He did fall from the sky. I just said that. We saw the border being broken. And I saw the writings on the back of his hand. It is obvious a ritual has been performed. We don't have time to lose listening to this nonsense. If those damn creatures are wandering outside their prison, then we should focus on ensuring our people's safety. I'll see that every patrol station in every town near the forest bridge sees their numbers doubled immediately. In the meantime, I suggest we bring the human to Redlock until we figure out what to do with him.
Huh?
Redlock? That's a bit excessive, isn't it? It's not. For all we know, he could explode any minute now. Redlock is our safest bet. Explode? We would ensure he is under constant surveillance and proceed with further deliberation after the Voidbound are driven back to the swamp. We do have yet to reach a solution, and time is scarce. Do my other children have any suggestions? Why don't we try to send him back to the Firstborn? You all surely can't be fine with sending him to Redlock of all places. I refrain myself from asking what Redlock is. I think I can get an idea. It's not that simple. We have to consider the consequences of our decisions.
Harmless or not, which we don't know yet, we have to prioritize the safety of the realm. Do you all understand that?
I do, but if he shouldn't be here, then let's send him back. The safety of the realm. Am I a threat somehow? Right, Shao? He shoots up in his seat, a confused babble falling off his lips. Registering the sudden attention of everyone else, he sits upright, throwing helpless glances around him.
Sorry, what?
Weren't you listening? No. We're talking about someone's life here?
What do you want me to say? It's not like my opinion will change anything.
Just say something. Anything would do at this point.
He sputters and slumps, deflating onto his uncomfortable-looking seat. You aren't gonna like it. Just say it. Ray is kinda right. We're in the dark about all this, and the Voidies are running around out there while we argue, so... I mean, I know that, but... She looks at me, lips worded into a troubled line. I share the sentiment. Permission to intervene, Perfectus. Emmy shuffles her feet, vaguely gesturing at me with one hand while avoiding my eyes. Ray regards him. Their gazes meet for the briefest of moments. Permission granted. We are not seeing the bigger picture, I'm afraid. First, the Midnight Tower starts spitting Voidbound, then they venture beyond the limits, and now a child of the Firstborn shatters the crystal border and crosses into Limbo. Suspiciously close to the tower, may I add. Do you think these events are related? They could be. It can be a coincidence at least. Not when the tower is absorbing more essence every day and the Voidbound are becoming smart enough to bypass our defenses. Perhaps its sheer power is starting to leak into the Firstborn, and this is a consequence of it. We know too little about the tower to discard any scenario. It's either that, or the human has been summoned here, and both options should concern us. If the tower is not responsible, it means someone has performed a ritual without precedent, and has done so with a purpose in mind, a purpose we know nothing about. Another human sent him here, you say? That's what he's saying. That, or someone has summoned him from this side, and that seer of his is just an unfortunate puppet.
Nonsense. The requirements for such a feat are incalculable. Unfathomable.
For us.
No. There is no way a simple human could do something like that. It's impossible.
Then the only possibility left is blaming one of our people. Those previously enough to know about the existence of the Firstborn are aware of the consequences of attempting something this egregious. Even if they somehow had the power and knowledge to reach the other side of the crystal border, they wouldn't risk their position, their lives, for an insanity like this. Father would know if they behaved otherwise. No one could pursue something like this unnoticed and without leaving a trace. You mentioned someone stabbed your hand, did you not? Yeah, they drew something on the back of my hand and then, well, you know the rest. I looked down on my hand. The claws tied around it is stained red. I saw it, yes. I couldn't read it due to the state of the wound, but with effort, he could have drawn it himself. And why would he do such a thing?
That is what I've been trying to tell you since we started this, Gael. That we know nothing. Nothing at all.
I'm supposed to trust your word, but you don't trust mine. I see how it is. Okay. As such, we cannot ignore any possibilities. Can you say with striking accuracy that he is completely innocent and oblivious? Gael looks at me. I don't know how to feel. He forced me to sit here, yet he's fighting awfully hard to ensure I'm not sent to whatever Redlock is. No, I can't. Calmly assess the situation. Let's not act rashly. I take a shallow breath. The seer wanted me here, or perhaps not them, but someone else. Did they want me in particular, though? Like it or not, they knew a lot about me, about my life. The puzzle pieces lay strewn before me. I can imagine endless possibilities of what the final picture looks like, but my mind can't fully grasp it. A lot of terrible things come to mind. Speaking out of turn might get me in trouble. These people, whoever, whatever they may be, are not my friends. Right now, they fully have the upper hand as well. They're discussing what to do with my life, after all. I have to be smart, no matter how scared I am. I swallow down the sick lump in my throat. I gather myself and raise my hand. Amon's hold allows me to. That's good. Could I... Go on. Again, I swear I'll cooperate with you in every way I can. I have nothing to do with whatever's going on. I just want to go back to my family. I understand that, but the truth is that you may be dangerous in ways that not even we can fathom. I'm not doing this for entertainment. Let me prove it then. I wasn't lying before. If me being here is such a problem, then help me leave. I get it. You are trying to protect your family, then help me get back to mine. I'll take you anything you want to know, or help you however I can. Just give me a chance. I throw glances around the room, but I am only met with a heavy silence of deliberation, pitched brows, pursed lips, and then an exhausted sigh. I must reiterate, confinement shouldn't be our last resort. It is not only cruel, but we are also depriving ourselves from learning from Altair. If you want to be cautious, my perfectus, then let us personally watch over him. Hey, that's smart. Keep your enemies close and all that, Of course. Who knows? Maybe he can help us solve this mystery. I doubt it. However, if the tower or someone else wants him, I agree it's best to have him in our possession and under our personal vigilance. Think about it, Ray. We know so little about the tower. If keeping the precious bunny here means we can have some advantage, we should play smart. And of course you gave him one of your silly names already. And what if all you are wrong? What if the tower has nothing to do with this? Then it means someone is plotting something against Limbo's integrity, and we should stop it from happening, no matter which side of the border it belongs to. Your Altair could be harboring plans of his own, or fulfilling them for someone else. Then you'll agree it's best if we keep a close eye on him. Oh, right. I will trust your judgment. You are really tiring to argue with. I withdraw my proposal for now. Thank you, Perfectives. Truly. Unbelievable. Do not thank me yet. I am merely placing my trust in my siblings. You'd best not betray that trust. I won't. Father, how should we proceed now? Father's looking down at his hands, twisting the many rings glimmering on them. It is a concerning situation, no matter the truth that lays behind it. Your arguments have been nothing but impeccably solid, and I confess I fear for us all. If our guest is the key to discerning the tower's intentions, or to uncovering a treacherous plan to hurt our people, then perhaps... He looks right into my eyes. But I will not put my family at risk. I refuse to do so. That said, another thought occurred to me. As much as our child doesn't wish to engage in this conversation, perhaps he can contribute to answering some questions and assist in our decision. What? I would like to know if the human poses an immediate threat to us. Perhaps you can enlighten me on that matter, son. The color drains from his face until his skin turns ashen.
I've never tried it on someone. And,
I would have to touch him?
Indeed.
Our approach is greatly affected by the question of whether or not our dear Altair is a threat to the delicate balance of the realm. But if you'd rather not, I understand, my son. We will find another way. It is alright to be scared. Child wavers, head bobbing from the side to side. His legs, which had been sprawled out like a cat's, are now crossed at the ankles as he stares through them right with his trembling eyes.
No, I can do it. I think.
Mm-hmm.
You sure? Yeah, trying can't do any harm, I guess. Let's find out then. Father's hand reaches towards the other side of the room where Charles sits. A thin beam of light emanates from two of his outstretched fingers, marking the middle of Charles' forehead. The scent of orange tickles my nostrils once more. The light tastes sweet. Dear Prefectus, help your brother get down quickly. Immediately. She extends a hand in front of her. The railing on the right side of the room quivered and melted down into a brownish liquid. An invisible mold hooks the cement to create a path leading to where I sit. The steps become solid in front of my very eyes. What was a piece of railing seconds ago is now a perfectly sturdy set of stairs, and shall waste no time climbing down them. I must warn you, my beloved guest. There is a ward embracing my son's body. Should you attempt to harm him in any way, I cannot guarantee that will happen to you. My sword squeezes down a gulp it takes at its own accord. Father smiles tenderly as he steeples his hands. There's no hesitation in him. The void in my stomach twists as I vaguely consider what would happen if he sensed any ill intention coming from me. Child fidgets, removing his hands from his pockets and taking a step closer to my seat. I can see my reflection in his jacket, tired eyes and a gaping, swollen mouth. I barely recognize myself.
Hey.
He awkwardly raises a hand to me. Hey. He shuffles his feet. His eyes don't meet mine for long.
I'm, Sal.
Sal, okay. Also, as soon as we finish this section, I'm gonna call it for today. Altair. God, this is like a fever dream. So, do you want me to explain what are you going to do to me? He bares his teeth in a grimace. His slightly rosy cheeks flower into deep crimson.
Well, if you say it like that, it sounds like I'm gonna do something horrible.
I mean, I'm in the dark here. You could be. Yeah. This must sound weird, but I can know about stuff when I touch it, so that's what I'm hoping I can do to you. What kind of stuff? What you're made of, chemical compositions. I can also learn how your body functions or if you are sick. I think. You don't sound too sure. I've tried it on my cat a few times, but never on, slender finger shyly gestures to me. And what's the worst that can happen exactly? Nothing, I think. It's not supposed to be aggressive with what I touch or anything. I guess the worst would be learning nothing. I see. Come on, bro. He won't bite. Shut up. Scoring his shoulders after shooting Ammon a withering glare. He jabs his hand out right in front of me. Your hand. I arch an eyebrow. Please. That's better. I place my non-stamp hand on top of his. His skin is soft and his fingers curl around mine quite nervously. Good to know I'm not the only one scared, I guess. His fingertips find the back of my hand. Hesitant, trembling, I close my eyes, readying myself for any kind of pain as he squeezes my palm. I can feel my pulse battling his own. The point where our hands meet tickles, and slowly the feeling turns sharp, like a pinch traveling all the way up to my shoulder. It doesn't hurt. My skin is caressed by a faint wave of dew that sets the hairs along my arms pinned straight, like a field of needles. There's a low strum in my ears and a tingling nudge behind my eyes. Then comes a flash of light, a spark of color of the morning sky. Oh, pretty boy. A bluish glow takes over my arm, lining it up from the inside. Every vein turns into a glinting, sinuous line brimming with life. The orange and red hues of my backlit flesh bleed into blue. I can see all that lies underneath my skin, emanating a soft glimmer. His formerly gentle grip turns firm when my first reaction is to back away. His eyes are two beaming rays of cerulean light, lost in a vague point between my collarbones. Everything floats around us and stills. I can no longer tell his pulse from my own. We merge completely in an unknown sea. But I feel no fear. I drift away, letting the wave carry me, letting his eyes be my anchor. I'm submerged in frigid water, and the ice bites my skin. The voice tries to reach me, fingers down across the strings of an old and beloved instrument. Praise is given with the gentleness of a loved one. Then it arrives. Grotesque, all-consuming start for millennia. It roars, straining against its shackles, tearing apart the very filaments of life. It lays in wait. It has been waiting for too long. Don't you think? The light within my arm dies in a single instant. The pebbles floating around us fall back to their natural place, and the energy setting every nerve in my body on edge ebbs away. The last thing to fade is the shine of Xiao's eyes. His pupils contract and his shoulders slump as his consciousness seems to slip back to reality. His consciousness knows in discomfort and releases me slowly, letting his arms fall limply to his side. What is it, son? I... He squeezes his eyes shut a few times, clearing away the haze clinging to his expression. He doubles over right before me, hands shooting up to grip his head. I reach on with his keels over, catching him before he can hit the floor. Shut! His dead weight pushes me back into the chair as he stumbles on top of me. The back of my head and the side of Shao's hit the stone amidst a chorus of horrified gasps. His eyes snap open. We're so close I can see every twitch and flicker of his pupils. His gaze is deep into something inside me. My chest stills. His eyes sink into my own, digging into the furthest reaches of my brain. I hear a soft whispering as his pupils turn wide. Every other sound is drowned out by the strum of his body, like a bolt of lightning caught within his ribcage. Shao, are you? His arms snap up to stop her from coming any closer, but his eyes are still fixed on me, darting between images I can't see. I don't know how long he stays there, curled over me, hovering mere inches away from my face. He's not breathing. The glow disappears from his eyes once more. Air enters both our bodies at the same time, and only then do I realize what I've been holding my breath just like him. Slowly, the heaving of our chest subdues and sinks once more. He looks at me, conscious, serene. His bangs caress my forehead, but my body doesn't register the tickle they leave behind. You. His expression doesn't change, set in absolute neutrality, but there's a glint of something behind those impassive eyes, a glint that sends a chills through my very soul. He knows. Shal? He's harmless. Lethargically, he straightens up with a steadying hand and the backrest of my seat. He blinks hard several times once more. Are you certain, my son? He puts some distance between us and reaches up to touch the spot where he hits his head. The glance he throws my way vanishes any doubt I had. He knows about me and the tower. Yeah. Shal looks away from me, stuffing his hands in his pockets. He's not gonna explode or anything. The worst that can happen is he dies, like suddenly, like dropping dead, I mean.
Wow. Way to put it, champ.
Yeah, what do you want me to say? The balance is trying to, balance stuff. Just don't say anything about death. Fine, he's like a non-wielder. Can't wield, can't see, pretty much harmless. As I suspected. Father closes his eyes. It's a moment of intimate thought, one everyone present respects. We will take a recess now. I need some time to deliberate. Perfectus, you may send word to the cities closest to the forest bridge. Yes, father. She swiftly rises from her chair and disappears. With her, she takes the tensions that was tightly threaded across the room. Sons, Lord Envy, a word. The three of them abandon their positions without hesitation, and a few eyes land on me as they do so. Dad, can I bring you Tear some water? His steps visibly falters at the question, but it's one of the briefest fraction of a second before he recovers his composure. Of course, my dear. Such a thoughtful soul you are. Yes! The breezy sound of bare footsteps takes over the lower floor. I watch, still in a strangely comfortable haze, as her mass of pink hair thrusts away and charges through the gates. Keep our guest company, Shal. We'll return soon.
What? Wait! What am I supposed to do?
A door closes somewhere behind the balcony. The sound echoes louder than it should. We are alone. There's no one here but me, him, and a droning eye hovering above my head. He draws out a groan, pulling his jacket up his shoulders. The fabric slides back down uncooperatively. I've been in plenty of uncomfortable situations in my life. This, somehow, isn't as bad as some of them. So, are you alright? I'm in one piece. I think that's as close as I'll get to alright. I guess I have to thank you for that. I was just doing what they asked me to. But you were kind to me. I wasn't. Fine, I won't argue. Are you okay though? You almost fainted. His eyes finally gather the courage to land on me, and they do so suspiciously. My attempt at gathering a bit of information has failed, apparently.
You don't have to be nice or anything. Like I doubt you care.
That's a bit edgy, don't you think? I can't help but chuckle. At least I try to. No, it's not. Just a bit. Stop laughing. Aren't you in pain and scared or something? I'm surprisingly lucid, if you ask me. Don't know how long it will last, though. I could still do something bad to you, you know. Okay, sorry. That's the most comical threat I've ever heard, but I keep my opinions to myself. He looks like he would flee immediately if he hadn't been tasked to keep an eye on me. One glass of water coming through! Busting through the gate with a glass in her hands, she saunters over towards us. Relief washes over my temporary guardian with such strength I'm afraid he'll keel over again. Very nice of you to leave me here alone. Oh, please. Don't tell me you're scared of Altair. He doesn't reply. He shoots me a cautious glance and I instantly know that what he's thinking about. Did he see the same I did then? Or am I just imagining things? What's with the faces? What were you two talking about? Nothing. Nothing, hmm? Keeping secrets from Sister Ara, huh? Ara? Fine. Here, Altair. Drink some. She's so pretty. Why is my audio? Okay. Several droplets vault off the overflowing glass as she jabs it in my direction, splashing onto my lap. The dazzling smile she's wearing could light up an entire city. Thanks. I hesitantly accept the offer. The glass feels absurdly light in my grasp. I gulp the water down so fast I can't even taste it. My breath cuts short and my stomach twitches painfully at the sudden influx. God, that felt good.
Huh?
Circles, do you want some more? No, that's okay. We don't charge for it. You just have to ask. Her outstanding kindness is as welcome as it is concerning. I already let my guard down with Master Gael, and that didn't turn out too well. I rest the empty glass on my lap. Ara's smile broadens until her eyes are hardly more than a straight row of long lashes. Huh.
You don't look too different from us.
What did you expect?
Oh, come on. Don't tell me you hear Wanderer of Worlds and imagine someone completely normal.
You read too much. There's no wonder of anything. Wait, that thing. The wonder, what's that? The pair of peachy eyes in front of me suddenly draws close. In a heartbeat, Ara's nose is almost touching mine, and I swallow a squawk out of pure courtesy. The Wonder of Worlds! It's an old legend of... It's just a stupid fairy tale. That's what someone boring like you would say. No. That's what someone who's not delusional would say. Prick. Ugly. Idiot. Their shared focus remains on one another, and they're bickering. There's a few hands thrown in the air merged with some slaps, and soon a round of laughter wrapping it all together. Anyway. Could I have more water? Like a light switch, Ara's face is taken over by another huge smile that utterly erases the impish expression she had a second ago. Sure! Ara picks up the empty glass and shoves it right into Shal's chest. You heard the Lord. What? Come on. I'm not your butler. Bring it yourself. After the traumatic experience you made him go through, it's the least you can do. What? As if it was my fault. I didn't want to do it in the first place. And traumatic? Give me a break. I'm the one who almost broke my head in two. Come on, please. Shal looks back and forth between us, flabbergasted. Notably, his eyes linger on mine longer than they do on his sister's. Don't look at the prisoner. Guest?
No,
Please.
please.
Please. I love her. She's so silly.
Do it for your super cute and kind sister.
Is that sister in the room with us now? Ara claps her hands together. Her pleading eyes are so big they look ready to pop out of their sockets. Has someone drawn Ara as that one big-eyed hamster meme. I need to do that after stream, actually. Just, I love her. Oh, I love her. Ugh, fine. But I'm adding 10 more to your debt.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, my boobaloo. Thanks.
Uh,
He storms off, empty glass in hand. Hee. Her expression twists mischievously as she watches her brother march away, her little hands rubbing together like the most villainous of villains would do. Well, at least someone is having fun with this. So, how are you holding up, Altair? I'm sure you've been asked that a bunch of times, but I can't resist myself. Well, I'm afraid I'll have to give you the same answer, so I'm alive, I guess? Unless you all here have different plans. Because you don't, right? Plan to off me?
Huh?
No!
I know everyone got a bit nervous back there, but I swear, we're not monsters or anything. See, things are not exactly perfect around here. But now that you're here, they might just be soon.
Because of the wonder or whatever? I know I've heard about that before. It tickles something in my brain, but it's not enough to do the trick. Because of the wonder of... Sounds kind of stupid. It's like some honorific you'd unlock in a mobile game. The Wonder of Worlds. What's that? Are you really interested? Sure. It's one of our most famous legends. It's said when hope withers into despair and only darkness remains, the Wanderer of Worlds, who is capable of welcoming any realm of existence, will come to save us all from horror and grief. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
The Wanderer was blessed by the fabric of the universe so it could traverse every plane to bring peace to them if the balance of life ever tipped to the wrong side. You can see it when the veil between the world is at its thinnest, walking along the patchwork of reality itself. No other creature can travel through the great void unharmed. It watches over every realm, even from afar, far away. Its body is made of stardust and sea foam, and its left eye the sun shines through and bases every manifestation of life with its light. It's a lighthouse of the universe. Her presence and gestures only grow larger with every word. She stares at some point on the horizon with a sparkle in her eyes. Her cheeks flush from talking so long without breath. If it weren't for the situation I'm in, I'd be completely dazed. I have no idea what she's talking about, but there's something captivating about the way she talks about the way she seems to speak to something beyond this room. But as far as I know, there's nothing resembling stardust or sea foam in me. And if the sun is a euphemism for impending myopia, then sure, I've got that, otherwise. And you think I'm all those things?
Huh?
Huh? Oh, no. I
Hmm.
mean, not really? I mean, you could be. I mean, you are here, after all, but... I get it, I'm not that spectacular. Don't sell yourself short. It's just, we still don't know if you'll be walking among us for long. Shaw emerges from behind his sister, nudging her arm with the now refilled glass of water. Shut up! She yanks the glass off him and hands it to me. But you being here means the Wanderer could exist. It could come to us. Or maybe you are one of its manifestations. It must be a sign. I see. You shouldn't have asked about that dumb thing. You're the only one who thinks it's dumb. Sure. Anyway, you could be the key to finding the Wanderer, to summon it to help us all. Well, I'm flattered. At least someone here wants me for something, I guess. Someone sees worth in keeping me alive, whatever that means. Who knows, maybe the Wanderer of Worlds will come to save me. Asara takes a deep breath, ready to talk more about this mystic hero of hers. A scraping noise comes from above and behind me. Tilting my head, I watch as the other 5 Sorens flow inside the room, quietly chatting among themselves. There's a relaxed air about them. Even the stiffness around the Prefectus' shoulders has subsided.
Huh.
Hey, look who's having fun over there. Jealous much? You bet. One more boring speech from the Prefectus and I'll die on the spot. There's nothing boring about my speeches. They are just too intelligent for your taste.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, try using some pictures and puppets, Ray. No kidding, I'd love that. He's so silly. Idiot. My children, back to your seats. This won't take much longer. Everyone takes their seats as requested. Charles has scurried away at some point, and Nara's the one who lingers on the platform that's been my prison for a while now. You can keep the glass if you want, just in case you get thirsty again.
Hang in there. Just for a little longer. Alright?
Okay. Maybe it's her bright smile, or the familiarity in her gestures, in her movements. Whatever it is, I find myself nodding before I can think about it. Will do. She seems satisfied with that. With a final bob of her head, she turns to the stairway. Ara?
Huh?
Yes? Thanks. She tucks a few strands of hair behind the shell of her ear, but they promptly return to their places around her heart-shaped face. Don't mention it. Her lips quiver as she contemplates whether to say something else or not. With one last beam for me, she settles in the ladder, skipping all the way back to the upper floor. Wonderful. As Father reassures his position at the railing, the dust floating around the room freezes in place. The timid rays of moonlight peeking through the windows halt their dance, and a sound of word is heard. After careful deliberation, I have made a decision. It is true that the human summoning is wholly inexplicable, as are his true intentions, or who has taken part in this unprecedented event. With that considered, I will have the 7 sovereigns guard this one's life until a solution is found and the culprit of this transgression is brought to the sacred chamber. As Limbo's father and protector, I know in my heart this is the right thing to do. As a father, however, I would not demand this of you, my children. If the worst scenario came to fruition, many lives would be at risk, including your own. You don't have to ask, Father. The safety of this realm is the safety of this family. Your burden is our burden.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't dip on you like that. This'll be easy, you'll see. Shal? Ara? 1 second, guys. To check something. Okie dokie, we're back. Shal? Ara?
Mm-hmm.
We're in, of course. Don't you dare count us out. Right, Shal? A dragged-out hum is his only answer. He searches for something he can use to help his case, and by chance his gaze falls on me. His expression tightens, and we draw labored breaths in unison. Yeah, about that? Sure, I guess. He looks away, crossing his arms before his chest in visible discomfort. The tension that should wash out of me solidifies, worming its way to my belly. Why is he not saying anything? How will we settle this, Father? Will he stay in the spire? Will we take turns watching over him? Knowing how fickle his life is, I'm afraid the spire's volatile nature would not be ideal. My position does not allow us to dedicate as much time and effort to this matter as it means. Therefore, I will ask of you to shelter our terror within your circles. He must be under strict vigilance, but also cannot raise suspicions. This matter will remain as secret as possible. Teach him our customs, if he is truly foreign to them. Let us embrace him, and let him embrace our home. Sooner or later, the answer will be given to us one way or another. Stand and cast your vote, if you will, my sovereigns. The room fills with a sound of shuffling of clothes and shoes. 6 hands rest atop of the railing, and a quiet hum erupts from the earth, crawling up through the pillars holding this place together. However, there's one among them who doesn't move. Envy remains still, a distant look in his downcast eyes. Father, a suggestion if you'll allow it.
Indeed.
Yes, Lord Amon? Even from where I sit, I can see Amon's Adam's apple plummet under the weight of Father's candid stare. I'd like to suggest we include Lord Envy in this. Wait, do they not have a circle? Amon, I know the law. But they know more about the firstborn than any of us. It's only fair that he has a chance to help. What is it? Huh? And it would be good for them to have a say in this. Maybe then we can... Amon? His eyes meet Envy's, and the unspoken words between them are too intimate for me to watch for too long. What is going on here? We will speak about that when the time comes. For now, yes, I understand. Do you find yourself ready for this task, Lord Envy? As they glanced at their father, I realized there's been a faint softness in their eyes while they looked at Amon. Now, however, there's something else that words can't quite describe. Yes, I do. Then it's decided. Envy stands up and joins the rest, his pale hand clasping the cold stone of the ledge. By unanimous agreement, the 7 sovereigns will take Lord Altair under the sacred protection. We will, however, grant our guest the chance of making a crucial decision. Father offers me a fond smile as his attention zeroes in on me. He grins his hands together, squeezing his palms until a flicker of light seeps through his fingers. When his hands part, a deck of cards swirls in rapid circles between them. His pace soon slows to a halt, bobbing up and down amidst a golden glimmer. The balcony in front of Father parts before him, shying away from his presence. He steps into the void, and the air itself holds him aloft, coiling around his ankles with care, delicately fanning his clothes. My heart trembles at the sight before being smoothed into a calm bosom. A golden hand slips between my ribs and lovingly pats away the ache held there. It tilts my breast and relieves me of the never-ending pain of being conscious, of being present. I will be taken care of. Every thought is erased with a snap. I'm bestowed by the glorious face approaching me, by the scent of morning dew cradling my senses. The world carries Father to me, stopping him at a distance that could be dwindled into nothing by a mere stretch of my arm. His power is unimaginable. I can taste it on my tongue, feel it in my veins, hear it echoing inside my head. Yet I fight it. No, something else inside me fights him, fights the hold his godly presence has on me. What are you doing to me?
I apologize. It is my very existence that troubles your soul. Perhaps with greater strength than usual, as you are no child of mine. Gather your thoughts. My influence will pass.
I don't think it's because of that. I think it's because I'm like the Wanderer's like little vessel guy. Just a little creature. I close my eyes, denying myself the pleasure of seeing him. Knowing that he's not actively trying to charm me is all the more unsettling. A dangerous thought crosses my emptied mind. What if I gave in to him, to this influence? Absolutely not. In my hands I hold 6 cards. Each card represents one of my beloved children, or trustworthy sovereigns. Let instinct guide you, as each card is infused with tremendous power. They hold the very essence of my children themselves. Or if you will, have your choice be based on cunning and strategy. Act as you please. Know that each one of them offers you protection, understanding, and knowledge. Seize this opportunity as one in a million lifetimes, my dear guest. I face his delightfully overwhelming presence. I can't hold his stare too long. He causes flames to lick at my stomach in a blur of pain and pleasure. Is there anything you would like to add, Lord Terra Deliria? Don't fucking full name me. Thank you for not killing me. Thank you for not killing me, I guess.
Oh, I would not have done such a thing, my dear.
Y'all were threatening to put me in some place called like Red Grave. That sounds like a really bad prison. I don't know about that.
You are unfathomably valuable. You are an unprecedented event. A change in the perennial tides of life.
Don't like that. Don't like that he's saying that. One of his hands delicately reaches out, and my body anticipates his touch all too earnestly. His naked fingers graze my cheek, and it feels as if the sun was kissing my skin. A warm, light touch that quickly turns into a searing caress.
A miracle. Or a curse. We shall see. Together.
No. 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 I don't know. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I mean, I didn't trust you before, but now I really don't fucking trust you. Why are you saying it? Why? No, 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 no. Back off. Back off. It is settled then. Today you take destiny into your own two hands for as long as you remain among us. Among us? Larry. The cards flutter and twirl before they fly away from the cocoon of his hands. They stop right in front of me, 6 perfect pieces of wafer-thin stone and glass, one for each one of them, just like he said. A myriad of colors and shapes form carefully crafted stained glass images. Etched on the bottom of each card is a title, each more ominous than the last. I just have to pick up one and then that's it. It's decided. Somehow, part of me still hopes that the moment I choose a card, I'll wake up in my bed. That all of this will be nothing but a bad dream. But that's not going to happen. I will fight my way through whatever comes next, no matter what it is. That's my only resolution, my only comfort. I will make them wish they'd sent me home as soon as they saw me. I reach forward, my fingertips hovering over the edge of the cards. The air around them is charged, buzzing with energy. It laps at my skin, beckoning me to choose. And so, I make a decision, perhaps my final one. Thank you for coming, everybody. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.